All right, we're starting the post-show podcast right now. I just need to find where the hell I'm going. Okay. There we go. Max, you there? Are you there, Maxi boy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Han, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Jake, are you there?
Hello,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay. So
Is Jay on delay?
this is the post-show
I had to
podcast.
mute the
Let me know if you
stream,
guys. Yeah,
so I
can
didn't
you?
get confused?
Is the stream coming out okay or no?
Let me know if you guys. Yeah, can you? You need to unmute yourself in Discord, Jay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jay, yeah,
there we go.
Jay, I can only hear you in stream.
Okay. How about now? Sorry.
You're good now.
Good now. Okay.
That explains it. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to make sure get all this shit like even Steven. It's kind of hectic. So yes, this is the post show podcast. As we progress, we will fix the audio levels as we go along. We have with us former tag team champion Maxx Edwards. We have current OCW champion Rust Cohle.
Bonjour, idiots.
Nice. We have former a lot of champion and beat up by horse speaker guy Jake, aka Quartz. So let's begin.
Chendi.
Yes, Chendi indeed. So we're trying not to be here for 7 hours because I have a lot of work to do still. So we're gonna keep it succinct. We're gonna get our opinions across. I'm gonna keep moving. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you to I guess Masay Brenda, whatever his name is currently in up north. I want to say thank you to Paul Pugh for the opening package. The second opening package, as a matter of fact, the Ric Flair sounding thing. I want to say thank you to Jake Allen for busting his hump with the introduction. I want to say thank you to the OCWFED community for superseding expectations. And I want to say thank you to Emp for that documentary, which lead into tomorrow's show. I had to point that out because that shit was hilarious. So first things first, I guess, do we want to talk about intros or can we move on or what's up? Anybody got any thoughts on that? Not you, Jake, but Max, Russ. Anything to add?
Jake needs to drop the deck.
Oh, he's gonna drop the deck.
I'll do that right now. Actually, that's fine.
Yeah, you can drop.
It'll air again. It'll air again tomorrow, but I'll put it in House of Style.
Yeah,
right
drop the deck. Anything to add on that, Rusty?
No, that was super perfect.
It was fucking.
That was amazing.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It's funny because I was like, no one's gonna appreciate the nuance of what you did, and it was a lot of work to do that. So shout out to that. That was good. The bonus on that is that the slices of who's fighting who, that actually helps to do the hype video because I can never get a screenshot for hype videos, and it's incredibly annoying. So either way, appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's dope. Okay, so let's go move into the first match of the night, which would be actually we have Cody Hagen's thing. Lucky he was on the show. Don't ever submit something late. Things are put up for a reason. Use your fucking brain. That's not just Cody, that's everybody else. I was asked, when's the deadline? A couple times. It's kind of crazy because it was posted weeks ago, but I digress. Anyway, moving on to the first match, Future Investment. We'll kick things off with Russ, Jake, and then Max. Go.
Oh, fucking crazy spots. The usual for Future Investment ladder match. The real MVP of the match is Cass with all the dives that he did on fucking top of the ladders and not top of the ladders, but lateral ladders. But the best spot was when he missed actually the ladder and fell onto the barricade. That was great. Actually, bet on C Note to win the match, and I was surprised he won. Like for real, I bet because he was like last on the betting scale, so I was like, okay, why not? So, but I think FI was created for those kind of call where he's not a rookie anymore, just barely a sophomore, and then gets the opportunity. That's the name of it, Future Investment. So I have no complaints. It was fun. It was really fun. I would have been happy with, practically anybody for it to be the winner. So whether it's Reese, Bishop, Cass, or whatever, I would have been happy about it. So, that's a great result and a fun match to begin the night with.
Next up, that would be Jake.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, Future Investment is chaos. I agreed with Jay's call immediately when he posted the initial card, which a lot of times to pull back the curtain, the initial card gets posted, and then Jay and I go back and forth a little bit, and we're like, hey, we should move this here, this there. I would say since like Clash, honestly, since Clash in 2022. Your card has immediately just been like, I have no notes, and Lucian has been no different. And what makes me very excited about that is how well everything turns out, despite that we don't have to move anything around. Like, we just go in and call these top to bottom, 1 through 16 in this case, and like, man, it was so perfect here, like to set the tone for the chaos. The fact that all of the other matches that followed, which we'll talk about, were like succinct enough to make this very long match worth it. I agree with what Russ said. Cass was the MVP here. He was the favorite to win. He's a former future investment winner. So for him to do all the high spots and him to have that unbelievable entrance from the Taken King, like, dude, like, he gets it. Everybody gets it on Lucian. The entrances are always one of my favorite parts for these big events. This night is no different. The way to start this with just like 6 big bang, 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 bang Lucian entrances is such a hot way to start it. I was a big fan. And shit, shout out to C-Note. I know we talk about sometimes for these future investment matches, it's like people who don't really have anything going on now. Let's throw them in there. This Lucian is different. Honestly, it really is. Like, we have reached a peak. Like, because this Lucian, everybody here is doing stuff. They just don't have... You know, they were cut for Turmoil 300, or, you know, they were pushed aside for one reason or another, but they're all doing stuff. There are no, like, I hate to use the phrase, but I can't think of any better way to say it. There are no participation trophies here. Everybody here earned their spot. Another big shout out for Louis Bishop. That entrance was fucking hilarious, amazing. Just a big fan of the whole thing around. And C-Note, huge, so great for him coming off of that Road to Glory match against Tony.
Maxi Pad.
I think I pretty much agree with everything Jake said. I think the placement was superb, kind of letting us like get it all out and get into the mood for Lucian, especially all the entrances. Amazing. I think Cino was a great winner. It was a great inclusion. And that's it.
Yeah, I enjoyed the future investment. When it comes to placement, I do accidental renaissance. There's always a lot of thinking where stuff should go. I'll just leave it at that. There's so much. You know, it was a quick question that, not a question, but a quick idea that I was talking to Jake, that like people, not to be negative, people take for granted how smoothly we run the ship. So when I get these dumb questions or whatever, it's weird to me because, again, it's like people aren't like, we just make it look easy. Basically, it's kind of impressive. But it's also bad because then people don't know stuff and it's kind of annoying. But either way, I enjoyed the match. Oddly enough, I kind of wanted Cass to win just because it would have been annoying, and, you know, maybe Russ would have got upset twice. That would have been great. But he's the MVP of that match. Louis Bishop, wonderful attire. He wasn't a king, Jake. He was a bishop. That's why the bishop hat, the Pope hat. I have nothing really bad to say. That was a really fun match to watch. It was very chaotic. The only thing I would say I would complain about is the fact that the way the game is, it makes ladder matches difficult because nobody stays down at all. It's
tough.
But even that being said, it was still entertaining to watch. It was still chaotic fun. A lot of mayhem. Poor if Bishop doesn't sell like what happened to him, he's basically Ricochet for the match. He was just left and right and center getting mauled. It was a fun thing. Does anyone have a docket of what's next? Because I guess we're gonna do videos as well, right? Because, you know, yay.
I was hoping you had that. If
Great.
I'm being honest with you.
Darken had PSA.
Thank you.
We can group that in with the other one, probably.
And I didn't get to talk about it, but like you can criticize him all you want, but as a premise, Cody, I liked what he did, like with the whole no fans in attendance and like trying to set the scene for it. Obviously, there is no excuse for you coming in and being like, oh, I wanted to play other games, so I didn't submit it on time. Like, OCW, if you want it to be a priority, you got to make it a priority. So shout out to Jay with all the other things he was going on to even let that come on the show in the first place. But I did enjoy the premise of it. Thank you.
There wasn't really any. There's like another segment tomorrow that I don't know, but we'll see. But it wasn't late. So yeah. So we have I guess we'll lump in the Darkness Society stuff. So first and foremost, Darkness Society is on, spoiler alert, they are on Lucian in both capacity. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it the hidden gem. So they're on visually and contextually as well. So again, shout out to Jimmy. Who else is Jimmy? Jinx, Pat,
Mad Dog.
Yeah, Mad Dog's Pat. There's
That's
4
who
people.
Pat, yeah.
I'm forgetting.
Just say their character
Whatever.
names. It's way easier.
Everybody. No, yeah. Mad Dog, Jinx, Bash. I'm forgetting somebody else. and it's unfortunate. So whatever.
Well, it's Omen, right? That's what.
Is
we have to
Omen the
talk
4th? I
about.
thought there was 4 already.
Solomon Omen.
No, it's not Solomon Omen. Is it Solomon Omen?
I guess Samson's the one.
Samson Omen. Samson also.
No, Samson is the other one, but he's like kind of caught in the middle. Like that's the thing though, right? Like if you want to talk about it, you don't.
There's a lot.
He's not like a committed disciple to DNS for me. At least right now, the story they're telling, he's like in this mental hospital, like he's infected with the worm. But Samson as a person is not committed to their movement the same way that Mad Dog and Jinx are.
Samson's patient zero.
Yes, patient zero. I love it.
So perfect.
Oh, speaking of real quick before I divert, we're not gonna tangent, but yes, the thing where they did it to Quartz and they're like, but this is already occupied. That shit was great. That's like a hidden gem.
Yeah.
You can't fuck with Quartz. He's already fucked in the head. Stupid. But yes, I really like what DNS is doing as a whole. We always say rookies factions are the stupidest and the worst idea, but these guys are pulling it off. You know why they're pulling it off? Because they're old. Old people know how to do things sometimes. So they're all old. They're all familiar with the material, so they're all able to not be shitty at it. This is no fucking Ragnarok. This is no Apex. This is no whatever else I forget that people have named stupid rookie factions in the past. This is like a good thing.
The baby click.
Oh, the baby click, all that other dumb shit. These guys know what they're doing. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting to see the trajectory. And the thing is, our roster is so thick that it doesn't matter that it's like fucking 4 or 5 guys already linked up because there's still so many people to interact with. So hopefully we get crossplay anyway. So moving on, we'll do Maxx, Jake, Russ, go.
We're talking about Elliot and Derek.
Oh no, anything else to add on DNS or we're good?
DNS.
I think we'll come back to them.
We'll come back to them. Okay, so Derek and Elliot. We'll do Jake, Russ, Maxx, go.
Derek and Elliot was a great like initial opener because obviously you're going in with the chaos, the rundown introduced it. We got to start with the ladders, got to start with the chaos. That's my Jay impression. I'm sorry.
Racist.
But when you get into the singles thing of it, I think I mentioned it on commentary. This is like such a raw. These two just don't like each other,
yes.
And it doesn't have to be more complicated than that. And I know OCW and especially myself included get way more complicated on things, but this is just a spot that Lucian needs. You can't have a card full of one thing. You can't have a card full of all the same shit. This was different. It was way lower on the, I guess, tier list or priorities of feuds that I was interested in, but it was a great way to kick off with just action and like with the whole Alyssa and I can't think of the other woman's name right now because I drank too much, but
No.
Yeah, but Camille, yes, thank you. Alyssa and Camille and that whole saga, like we criticized the big criticism around Derek when he was the international champion was like, oh, you're not doing anything, and then he just lost it. It was like, okay, like what was the point? And then he took that criticism and immediately pivoted into something that was actually entertaining. It wasn't Lucian main event quality, but he's doing something that was Lucian worthy, and that part I respect. The match was super fun. The ending was great. Elliot getting fucking flared off the top into a finish was amazing. Can't make a better finish than that. The entrance, especially for Elliot, was very good. That like they understood the assignment. It was a great way to kick off singles action on Lucian.
Is Rusty next?
Yeah, okay, no problem. Actually, when the card dropped, I was like, maybe Derek versus Elliot gonna be my bathroom break. No offense. But at the end of the day, but no, hear me out, because I thought the build and everything was there, but I feel like maybe Chance versus Bolek was a better choice for Resolution. That's my choice, but
Okay.
But actually. The match itself was pretty good. That was pretty decent. Didn't expect that from Elliot and from Derek. I know they're capable of, but I enjoyed the match. I was legitimately surprised, and the spots were flawless. The finish was a very Elliot finish, because why
Flared himself.
I have no word for that. But he paid off. He paid off immediately, right to the finisher. It was a very court-like decision, and it's just very good. That was a very good match. I was like, okay, it's just let's see, and they surprised me. So far so good for Resolution. 2 out of 2. That was maybe the best match of Elliot's career. that's not saying much, but you know, pretty,
I disagree because the
no.
match with Devin Flash on Wednesday was really fucking good. It's like an AEW match in a good way.
Okay.
Second best. Anyway,
Oxymoron.
Max. Wow.
Yeah.
We done? Or sorry, not to be. I'm not trying to be rude,
Yeah,
but
no.
all right, Maxie.
Building off what Jake said about Derek, kind of trampolining off the international title, I thought this was especially like pleasing to see because it wasn't even like it was like a big, lots of videos every week and like looking for that validation. A lot of it was done like written and like through like the rest of the characters that are involved that aren't in the match, like Camille or Alyssa or Chance, and that was really nice to see on the show. As for the entrances were amazing, especially Elliot's. In my mind, the whole, like, even outside the arena, it was saying, like, your god is dead. There's a new god. It was amazing. Me and Jake shared a moment during the entrance.
We did.
And then the match, I would say top to bottom, every single match on this show was like a pay-per-view match. Nothing felt like a weekly match. It was all out, good. And this was no different.
All I'll say is this: didn't hate the match. It was either going to be this or them at 300. At one point, they were going to both be in the future investment. Then some other things manifested, and then it was like one's going to be in future investment, but then it's like it's kind of shady to put one but not the other, and then blah 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 blah. So I was like, fuck it, and it worked out. Didn't hate the match. Elliot fucking Ric Flaired himself. There's not really more to say. I dug it. My only complaint is I'm gonna run Derek Smith as a woman beater into the ground, just so you know, because that was the dumbest shit I've ever seen. So that's gonna happen for at least the next 6 to 8 weeks. Do better. Next segment, Maxie.
Next segment is Iceman firing back with the voice promo.
Iceman firing back. My quick thoughts. Then we'll do Max, Russ, Jake. Good promo as per the always. Max does wonderful, voice promos. But again, less is more. You had us, then you lost us. Well, actually, me, because I can't speak for everybody else. Because if I say it sucks, Jake will be like, it's great. But you had me, and then you lost me. Like you had a point. It was good, fire, and then it's like, and then here's some other thing. Pro wrestling promos, a minute and it'll seem long. That's good. You go past that, you better have something important to say other than repeating yourself. The initial list I give. So Max, Jake, Russ. I don't remember my list. Go do the list.
Yeah. I'll say he ain't lose me. It definitely went a little bit long, but I think he still had enough. I think he still brought. It was just like there's so much charisma and like fire and passion that it made up for it going a little bit long. I really enjoyed it. Gave some more hype to their story as it kind of got built earlier. I thought it was pretty much mirrored with like Claudio, where he had the amazing like angry voice promo that we'll talk about later.
Yes.
I thought it was just really good energy for people that were left off Illusion, I guess, in a blow-off capacity.
Definitely. Next up.
Yeah, I totally agree with Max here. I don't even feel that it's necessary to mention it because it was just one person, but I do think it is dependent on the promo, whether it's too long or too short, right? Like somebody can go 4 minutes, and if they have the passion and energy and substance that Iceman had, it's a lot different than if somebody just says nothing for 3 minutes. You know what I mean? So Iceman, this is why I disagree with what Dan was saying. He's like, oh, it goes too long because he lives in a box and everything has to be a minute and a half and has to be from the 1980s. I don't agree with that. He had the fucking energy, and not just the energy, but everything he said. Like he was going to different points. He wasn't repeating himself, and it felt real. Like it felt like he was speaking from the heart.
Yes.
And I am unabashedly an Iceman promo lover, but goddamn, this one fired me up. I was a huge fan of this. I don't have any problem with the length, if I'm honest with you.
Han.
I tend to agree with all of you at the same time.
Great.
I think no, in the sense that that was a fiery promo. He always delivers in his promos, and he was so passionate about this one. If he cut it 30 seconds prior, I think it's his best promo yet ever, probably. I didn't feel lost in the promo because he had some good points, and he kept spitting on Trey. But it's just at one point I was like, okay, cut it now. It's good, just good. And he kept for maybe I don't know 20, 30 seconds. I don't know exactly, but it's still a great promo. It's still a lot better than a lot of voice promo we hear, and he always does this, whether it's on camera or just Iceman on the mic. So the only complaint, cut it 20, 30 seconds before for me actually, but was great.
Hey, 30 seconds is negligible as far as I'm concerned.
I mean,
I'm okay
that's
with
you,
that.
and that's fair.
Yeah,
but I'm running a show
yeah.
here, goddammit.
Yeah.
But no, yeah,
Agreed.
he's one of the fucking one of the best, if not one of the best, if not the best promo currently in OCW. Like Kent said, he makes me want to fight. That was fucking great. Just trim it back a little bit, Mac. Smoke a little less weed, Max. Next one on the docket.
Parker Barrett.
Parker Barrett, the intro. So we'll do intro and then the match itself. Intro itself, I liked it. It was succinct. We've been doing a lot of like popular music lately. Like not popular, but like there was a point in OCW. I'll quickly digress. There was a point in OCW where we all had like everyone just did like the butt rock stuff because that was the popular thing. And I feel like we're going back to that where people just kind of go from their time capsule and just work from there. It was succinct. It made the point, the duality of assholes, or as I call it, the duality of cunts, both of them. Match itself, didn't hate the match, but like that fucking El Parker's not losing to Casey Barrett, no disrespect. The funny thing about that is I was going back and forth with staff about maybe putting that on 300 and then putting Chance Williams and Bowleg, but then it's like I don't know, like I don't know which decision was right or wrong, if there is, but that was a consideration because at one point I was like, no, flat out, hell no, rookie. But then as they progressed and like started egging the story on, I was like, you know what, this might not be bad. Bolek is a fucking goofy guy, but he's pretty okay. Like you can trust him in the ring. Like Bolek is not gonna be a weird cheesy guy. Oh man, Lucian, let me fucking he'll fucking go. That's a good thing to have as a rookie. So it'd be like that sometimes. So either way, I'll leave it like this. We'll leave Jake for last, and then maybe I'll chime in. So we'll do Rust, Max, then Jake. Go ahead.
Let's start with the package. It was a little bit different than other packages, I think, with the ominous music and everything. It was pretty short, but that was pretty on point, and it was darker than any other promo, and I liked it because it was at the end of the package. I was like, is this continuing after it? Because the music never really started, really.
Yeah.
It started in a weird way. But it set the tone for the match. I wish that the match was a little bit closer in the sense that Casey Barrett wouldn't let his fucking hands up. So put your fucking hands up. And but the match was good. The only complaint I have, and we're going to talk about it because you didn't.
How about we keep that for the end? Let's all keep that for the end. Talk about the match and then we'll do that part. Cause that's gonna take a chunk of time. So Max, go ahead.
All right. Going off what Russ said about the hype package, I thought it was amazing how like different it was. I think it stood out. It was very like not like ominous and like uneasy feeling where like the beat never really settled in. And it also perfectly kind of told the story of how we all feel about El Parka, or we're not really sure.
He stinks.
And based on the ending of the match, it seems like this feud's gonna continue. So we have to look forward to.
I mean,
yeah,
Jake. No, Jake. You're doing intro.
I know.
Sorry. All right.
I know. But I love that Max went before me because he's able, as he often is, to eloquently say what I'm thinking in a proper way.
Oh, okay.
No. He's like, honestly, because that's how I felt when I was watching it. I was just in my own mind, right? When I make hype packages, I'm waiting for the big, and you can watch the initial resolution package, and I do it 100 times in a row. It's like you're building up to a big bah, a big like bass drop, a big bah, a big moment. And that never happened in this. It was super unique, and it gave you, because Korn is the greatest band of all time. It's my favorite band of all time. So I recognized the song immediately. The story they told in the hype package was great. And what I especially loved, which makes me really hate what we're going to talk about in the post-match, what I really loved is El Parka leaning into the idea that he is doing everything he can to like be a man of the people. He's really trying, and like this whole evolution of Dillinger and El Parka being, they're helping each other be better people. But the outsiders don't see that, right? Obviously, they're not as close to the situation, so they're doing their best, right? That's where the CM Punk language came in, and I thought that was really good. He's trying. So the fact that it just kept going with the bridge and it never broke, I'm like, I'm waiting for the big break. I'm waiting for the highlight. It just never happened, and it was just the anxiety and the tension that it built was very good. So I'm a huge fan of that, just like what Max said. The match itself I thought was very good. I understand what happened at the end, I would say it was probably a little bit less to Rust's point, quality Lucian wise to Derek Elliott. I enjoyed that a little bit more just in terms of a raw match, but the story that was being told was fine. The ending, I'm of two minds on it. Like, I totally understand Dennis Dillinger being such a crucial part of this, like why he would get involved. But when you're trying to tell the story that you're doing the best you can to be a good guy, and then your manager helps you win in the end, it's a little mixed. But Casey Barrett, to be fair, in the story, has given himself more than enough reason to deserve that. He deserved that shit. He did. But I just don't think El Parker was quite there yet to utilize that tool, if that makes sense. So I can see how that would be a bit of a mixed bag for certain people. But I mostly agree with what Max and Russ said here.
Okay, so now with the end of it, who do we go? I don't know if I should wait for if I should do Jake first or Russ.
No, because Jake is gonna be a lot more elaborate than I am, and I don't want to
so
go
we'll do
after him.
Sure, we'll do.
Because you're gonna say everything, so no.
All right, so we'll do Rust, Max, and then Jake, and then I'll chime in if anything. Rust, you're up.
So,
I like that.
I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything.
Yes, you are.
Yes. What the fuck was this? like, everybody was not stunned. Everybody was confused. Like
shit was quiet.
Confusion is
and disappointed.
Exactly. My next point. The thing is, the music hits. Most of us, or a lot of us, probably recognize the music, and we're like, but okay, let's see. And it's this fucker who's supposed to be dead. Okay, he's been dead. We've seen the thing with his funeral and shit for Colby's return. What I don't understand that Mortal Kombat logic. I'm sure they're gonna have an explanation for it. I'm not a fan of it right now. Maybe I'm missing some things. I think we all do miss some things, but I hated that shit. For the simple fact that it makes no fucking sense for the whole picture with Colby and everything. So I think they wanted to do this match probably, Parker versus Aries.
Then don't fucking kill him in the first place.
But yeah, we don't come back from that. I know OCW is a kind of middle thing. It's like real life, but not really, because dumb shit happens with Trent and Colin and Max and horses and just and Spider and Mugen and all the things. It's a weird mix of everything, of anime bullshit and wrestling and real life, and it's terrible, and hookers too, and a lot of porn apparently.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
A lot of porn.
Yeah, I mean, fuck you. And but we usually don't come back from the dead. I'm pretty sure they're gonna say, yeah, he wasn't really dead. He wanted to be alone, so he faked it. Probably what they're gonna do. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's just not a fan of Chang Soon right there.
So Max already cursed me out. So habitual fence sitter Max, you're up.
All right. In order to fulfill the obligation, all right, I'm not nearly as mad as the fact he came back. I'm more so upset with like how he came back and how, at least to my knowledge, it kind of seemed pretty like out of nowhere, and also not necessarily like super, I guess, logical. Maybe I might have been missing something. I also don't like how he came back seemingly looking like a lot younger. You know what I mean? You look like Nick Jackson. That was more of my concern, but I guess we'll have to see their explanation for it, and then maybe that'll fill up the blanks in my head. That's all.
Can I add something?
Go ahead, add something before Jake goes.
Yeah.
Hard to paint.
Like Shay say in the chat right now, Owen and Colby are fighting because of it tomorrow. What is happening?
I would disagree with that premise, but
I mean, the thing is, why is this match even happening tomorrow? Then, if Colby, let it play out.
I hate
We'll
let
see.
it play out. It's
We'll
the worst
see.
thing. Actually, no. I'll let Jake go because he wants to. Should I go first?
Oh,
or
yeah,
should
he's
Jake
been
go?
so-
I got something to respond
What do you
to
got to
that,
add to
Yeah.
it?
I,
There's something
in
to
my
talk
mind,
about.
they're fighting because of Colby being in prison and that whole thing, and he was trying to find out. That's where my mind's at, not
Yeah,
necessarily because
yeah.
of Aries' eyes. Although Owen did use it in the story, but
Yeah.
that's not why they're fighting.
It was a
That's all I
crucial
got.
point though. The whole like.
Yeah.
Should I go first? Or should you go, Jake? What do you want? Actually, no. You've been chomping at the bit, so go ahead, go for it, Jake.
Release the chains.
No, he's been.
All right.
But he's gonna
Clear
be
throat.
nice about it. He's a good. That Jake is like, I won't be, but go ahead.
So
Jake.
I'm gonna say off the bat, there is so much good shit, not just in this show, but tomorrow night,
Yeah, there we
that
go.
I don't feel like this one moment is worth spending that much time on. So I'm gonna say my piece. You can, and I don't want anybody to think that it's worse than it is because of Jay's giggling or whatever. But like, seriously, to the point that was made, OCW is a full sandbox. Like, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can be whatever outlandishly exaggerated version of reality that you want to be, but within that construct that you have built, you have to follow those rules. You can't just do whatever you want, right? Even if you're a zombie man who says, I'm a zombie man, and then you can't just walk out on a random show and say, I'm not a zombie man anymore. There has to be you could drink an elixir. You could be summoned. You could do, boy, okay. So what Russ said is 100% perfect. Like, clearly this was just an avenue for Brian and for Lewis to have their dream match. But the problem that I have with that is not the match, because that match would be awesome. That's fine if you like people and you want to have great matches with them. That's great. But please do it to the benefit of the product. Don't just ham-fist it in there and be like, fuck everything else that we have done. Fuck the product. I'm going to get my match in. Because you know what that's going to do is it's going to make nobody give a shit about this eventual Parka match. That's what I told Jay, right? When we were in the booth, I'm like, dude, like Parka and nobody's going to give a shit about this now. Nobody. Because this is going to lean on it. That this is going to be the only thing people think about. And the person I feel the worst for here is Owen. It just is. Because you did bring up the point that they have other reasons to fight, Max. They do, because they were involved in a lot of shit before the whole death thing happened. But since that death thing happened, that has been Owen's main thing. That has been his biggest moments. He was with the bereaved. He was with Aries' widow. Like, he was getting in the head of Colby McCallum. He was doing this and that. And sometimes miscommunication can happen in OCW. Like, oh, this person didn't tell me because they wanted to keep it a surprise. To pull back the curtain, Lewis is Aries and Colby. He knew this. There's no excuse for it. There's just none. To tell Owen to go through this entire process, to build this entire feud, this entire story around this one thing, this emotional, this deeply rooted thing that everybody can relate to, death of a loved one. And then you're just like, nah, fuck that. I'm going to come and fight my buddy. Like, that is such a kick in the dick. And whether you want to say that it's a night one issue because Casey and Parker ended up on that night, and if you swapped it, it would be better. I don't think it would. You would have given us like 24 hours to be like, oh, great, this happened in Colby and Owen. But then the next night, it would have completely dismantled the whole thing. You tanked yourself. You shot yourself in the knee. And I just don't understand it, because Lou, most of the time, has been somebody that I defend and somebody that I am like so appreciative of his work. And just to see this was just so disappointing. Like, I just immediately don't care about El Parka and Aries now. I hate to say that, and maybe they can make it up later, but I just immediately don't care about it because it's just an immediate slap in the face to everything else that they've told in this entire story. It's so lame. That's kind of where I'm at. The jokes, and we'll get to the next match here in a second, in its funny placement. The jokes made up for it, but the match itself was great. The ending was the lowest point of Lucian, night one or night two. There's it's stupid. It's dumb. And that's all I have to say about it. I'm looking forward to seeing how things pivot, how things move going forward. but it was absolutely. I can't even focus on the fact that he tried to pull Parka's mask off because I just don't care. After he actually comes out, and he's just like, "Hey, I'm not dead. Who cares about anything else we've done in the last 3 months?" I feel the worst for Owen, and that's how I'll end it.
I mean, yeah, okay. I just know you get upset when I giggle, so I'll try not to giggle. But it's very simple. Just don't kill the dude. That's it. Like that match was supposed to happen at I think it was supposed to happen maybe not summer. Hold on. It was supposed to happen maybe.
I'm sorry, Jay.
What?
Maybe like End Games or something.
It was
summer.
Yeah. No, it did have. Yeah, they were supposed to do it between. I think it was somewhere in that like Parka and Mark Reese feud. Like they were supposed to have it in there.
No, but I'm
whatever.
talking about
I think it was before that.
No, I'm talking about last season. Last season it was emotionally.
Well, they made
for the 18th anniversary, and then he died.
Right. They may have had a second chance, but my biggest thing here is like, because I think the big counter argument is like, oh, Spider died too, and he showed up. But the difference is, every time somebody tried to sell Spider's death in canon, he was there. Like they had a P3 segment where they're like, oh, rip Spider, and he's in the segment. Like it's clear that it's a joke. You can't build an entire feud around the fact that like Colby's selling it. Colby would know if his dad is dead. Why is he selling these funeral segments? Why is he selling this thing where Owen is in his mom's house? Like it makes no sense. That's the Spider thing is the big thing that I wanted to bring up here because it's not the same. And anybody that thinks it's the same doesn't read, doesn't watch, doesn't care, and they can go fuck themselves.
Damn.
Let's move on.
Well, I just all I had to add was number one, don't kill yourself, and number two, just the default is basically like, yeah, don't kill yourself. When I saw that, I was like, oh, well then.
I like that message, Jay.
Don't kill yourself.
Yeah.
You know, prevention, but like basically
That's universal great.
It's very simple. So he's come back. It's basically, I lied. So it's like, okay, well, fuck your wife and fuck your son and fuck everybody. It's fucking goofy, but whatever. I don't
And his
know,
daughter
bro.
too.
Oh yeah, the daughter.
Because
too.
multiple characters have been selling this.
So remember,
La Serena Tormenta has been selling this. Like it's multiple fronts, and not just multiple fronts, but multiple fronts he has been involved in. He knows this is happening. You can't write this off as like, those other characters sold it, but they didn't know what my plans were. You are those characters. You're just blatantly.
Yeah, we can't. It's fun. It's just funny. I'm sorry. It's funny. I lied. Okay, moving on.
He never came back with the milk.
He never came back.
Kent is right.
Yeah, we're moving on. We have the Dragana intro and the match. The match is a palate cleanser on all levels. That was accidental renaissance when that happened. So we went from incredibly to like almost pissing our pants. It's a Dragana match.
The best match of night one.
Yeah, it's a Dragana match. What the fuck do you expect? We'll start snake back. We'll do Jake, Rust, and Max. I enjoyed the fuck out of it. The ending scene, I went from slightly emotional to fucking couldn't breathe laughing. And I'll leave it at that. That shit was amazing. So Jake, you're up, and then Rust and Max.
Yeah. They were able to fill the aesthetic and the hype package, like Gerald's voice being like, it's so hard to hit that midsection of like, we're trying to sell this as a serious thing, but it's also clearly entertainment, you know. And Gerald's voice does that perfect, right? He's Magic Empire guy, like that's what he does. So I thought the hype package was great. The match was a chef's. I can't even if we pretended to like book things and did things in sim AI whatever, you couldn't have done this better. The fact that Dragana just threw her around the ring, just absolutely annihilated
Suplex City.
Bertha. Suplex City, there, I think Drago said that there was like 9 suplexes in there. It was just perfect. The finish was perfect. She hit the Finn. Bertha still kicked out. Like Bertha hit maybe 1 or 2 offensive moves, maybe. I don't even know. The length of it was perfect based on the build-up, and then the ending. My God, the ending was so great. And I told somebody, or I told Jay this when we were recording it. Like Jay gave us the card rundown blind. Well, like we didn't know what was going to happen. And like when we started calling it, the fact that we were so mad after the ending of El Parca Casey Barrett, and then this happening right after with Ryu coming out and doing it correctly and like flinging his arms around and then getting uppercutted out of the ring. Like this shit was a match disguised. This was a segment disguised as a match. And it was one of the most fun, like 15 minutes of Wrestlution. Like So amazing. Great
Am I
job.
dead again? Charity, is that you? Oh, roster.
That was fucking amazing.
Oh
For the
my
package
God.
and the match first before the Riot return. Fucking amazing match of the night. Almost match of the night. I wouldn't put it the best match because it's more like a segment than a match. I know it was calm. It was calm at the end of the day. But it was almost too perfect. Like Jake said, it just you couldn't write it better for this match with the build and everything. You can't write it better than this. And that's the build was so perfect, so funny. It just like I said earlier, I'm sad that it's over now. Literally the feud. But just the fact that even reversals were suplexes, it's just everything. It's just that was fucking hilarious. And the ending, Dragana spitting her first words.
No, second
to
words.
Bertha. Second words, sorry,
Yes.
to Bertha. And that was so perfect because even the heartfelt ending with Bertha was cut short by another amazing segment.
Another ghost.
It's just yeah, the right ghost this time, not a paid actor. And
It's a spooky Lucian.
and the thing is the camera cuts very important. That when he comes back and it was like, I'm the greatest women's wrestler in history, and just the double uppercut
Yeah.
through the
over the
top rope. I'm not dead again. That was just too much for me. That was just really too much for me. I was crying. I was just I want to relive that moment that I watched first. Like, I want to relive my first impression of that moment. It's just, I'm gonna watch it again for sure. It's my second best match of the night, but I wouldn't say it's a match. It's just an overall package with the old story and everything. Just that's what Lucian is all about. That's what OCW is all about, basically.
Max.
So yeah.
Sorry, it got you
All
off.
right. So, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. All right. Well, for these shows, I have to use the bathroom at some point, right? And normally, I don't do it after a match ends because I might miss like a post match or a segment or a hype package, and I don't want to miss the hype package in its entirety. But because it's Lucian, I don't want to do it during an entrance either. So as soon as the bell rang, I went to the bathroom, and when I came back, I look at my screen and Bertha's red orange, and we're like 30 seconds away from the finish of the match.
That's a long piss, brother.
I think it was a short match.
Yeah.
It must have been absolutely crazy. And then as for like the post match stuff, I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was kind of like a Saturday morning cartoon. It was like a Dragon Ball thing. You know what I mean? Too pure. Dragana's too pure for this world, and Bertha just wants some love and some pump.
Yes, that was amazing. That's how you sell a loss. I know people felt that when she said, "I just wanted to be." What the fuck did you say, Jake? The thing about that she wanted to be a what you call it, a legend, but she's gonna just be whatever in obscurity. That shit.
She wanted to be recognized.
Yeah.
She wanted to be on the same level as these household names.
I know these
It was
motherfuckers.
very
I know
sad.
some motherfuckers feel that shit. Like, damn, that shit was great. It was fucking amazing. Anything else to add, Max? Because that shit was amazing.
And that was it.
Okay, good fucking shit. You can now sleep, Melon. At least till tomorrow. Next segment, Maxie. What is it on the docket?
I'm panicking. Hold up. It's a Claudio Real Deal package.
Okay, Claudio Real Deal. I mean, like I said, Melon and Owen, no knee pads. No, contractually obligated to fucking show Claudio shaking his rump all over the fucking 3D hellscape that is his hype video. Hype video did what it's supposed to do. I'm tired of looking at this motherfucker's ass, and that's pretty much all I got to say about that. Maxx, Rust, Jake, go.
Ass.
There
you go.
Rust, go.
What do you want me to say?
Let ass.
Yeah,
Okay, Jake, go.
Ass. If there was anything that went maybe a little too long, I would say this one is. But boy,
Yeah.
Claudio just screams star, and like
Yes.
I'm willing to forgive certain things at that point, like the effort, the star power, the editing prowess. Honestly, there was a lot of like cool shit that was done in this package. I just think it may have gone a little too long, but it built up what was essentially a co-main event for later tonight, which we'll get to. But fuck's sake, so I was a big fan of it.
So now we have the tag hype and the tag match. Yes.
Yep,
Okay, tag hype. You did the video, Max?
I did.
You have a penchant for like old white guy music, so shout out to you for that. Told the story. All the fucking teams fell apart. Lonely road, I know.
It was such a great avenue to take, but I want to hear Max's take on it.
The actual match itself, I didn't hate. I think my only I only have like 2 qualms, honestly. The one qualm, and these are my takes, is fucking Jordan Trance like exiting the ring kind of weirdly. That was like in the clutch of the match near the end, kind of like that's stupid. And then like the kind of close-knit counter to the like the one finish right into like the other, but that's just me probably being biased because that's me. But other than that, no, solid match. The curse is broken. The fucking outfits for both of these people for Max Storage was fucking top tier. Pew made the joke that no one knows about Elvis because they was all fucking young idiots, and then Colin comes out as Elvis and Max comes out as Michael Jackson. We get a breakdance, we get the so good fucking sports entertainment, solid fucking match all around. I hate idiots using fucking Tibby's entrance, but what are you gonna do, right? Fucking 2023 out here. Tibby's not around, so it'd be like that sometimes. So we'll do Max, Jake, then Russ. Go.
All right, I guess I'm first.
Yes, it's your shit. Talk about it.
For the hype video, I think it's pretty obvious that like there wasn't a whole lot of like video content for like this feud, and we was obviously like a rematch, so a lot of the stuff like we just had a hype edit. So I thought it was pretty like risky, because like pretty much me or like none of the people in the match even showed up in the package for like the first like minute or like 40 seconds in, and I was like, oh, I don't know if it's gonna be relying too much on other people's stuff, but it seems like it worked out pretty well. It seems like, and I got like the actual point across. After the match was really fun. They did doing entrances. I was really hyped to see like the future idiots entrance, and then our entrance was obviously had fun doing it. You know, having Max moonwalk and all that. But yeah, it was just a really good time.
So before Jake goes, it was Jake, right? Jake then Russ. Yeah, Jake's gonna mention it, but I'll mention it too. Photoshop takes 5 seconds with the reverso on the logos. Jake, you're up.
Yeah. So first and foremost, and this is a universal thing for everybody, do not submit a video that just starts with your entrance.
Oh yeah.
Don't do that shit.
You
That
were
shit,
mad.
like in Lucian, like I fixed it, I made it work, but stop submitting shit that like I click play to do commentary and your music starts. I don't want to see that. I need a lead in. Like, give us a lead in, make it look realistic. Stop being lazy. It takes 5 fucking seconds. Like it's super lame. And this is not a them thing, but this was the one that I had to fix for Lucian, so it's the one that I have to bring up here. The entrance itself was super fun and super creative. Don't feel bad. Jay yelled at me too in Games 2021. I did the same thing with the new Storm. I did the Bobby Roode like descending entrance. I had a lot of effects and shit on it, so I tried to make it unique. But Jay still yelled at me after when we were in the booth, and he's like, "That's Debbie's entrance." Yeah, and that's just the way that it goes. Like, you know, when somebody's super well established, that can happen. So, but this one was great. My only critique would be, I feel like it's so easy for you to just mirror the images that you have and like apply them on a separate arena. That way, when you're switching between the left and the right side, the logo doesn't go from the lower left to the lower right mirrored. Like, it looks normal, and the Trons behind you are correctly oriented. That would be my one criticism. And maybe that's just me like knowing how editing in the game works, as I play with this bullshit too much. But even with that, the entrance was super fun, super unique. They transitioned into the actual walking to the ring very nicely. I thought it was very cool. Their attires were dope, especially John's. I really like John's attire with the half kind of I can't think of lapel, that like the half lapel hanging down with it, like the body armor underneath. Super cool stuff. The entrances for everybody, all Lucian wide, were on target. I love that. The match was great. Max, I kind of already told you that I love the unique perspective that you put with the hype package because of what you said. There was not a lot of footage to use between the two because a lot of it was text based. I actually intentionally put the maximum storage dog that got hit in the hype package initially because it was one of my favorite moments in the build. But the hype package I thought was great, like teasing. You're teasing this thing like, oh, Quartz and Rust broke up. Lucha Country broke up, Sanctum broke up, and now it's gonna happen to them. So even if it hasn't happened yet, because obviously at the end of the match, it's not like Max beat up Colin or Colin beat up Max, but that seed has been planted now. And I think that's kind of a stereotype and assumption that most people would have made anyway. So leaning into that on the hype package, I thought was super fun. Tag team matches in this game, they're tough. They just are. But I think given the personalities involved in it and the effort that each party has made in especially written content, man, they have done a lot of good stuff there, not just now but Road to Glory. It helped us get into it, if that makes sense. Like it's a lot harder to just watch a random tag team match and get into it than it is because of all of the effort that you guys put into it up to this point. I super enjoyed the match. To Jay's point, the only part that I was like, nah, was when Jordan Trance got meta and he's played a video game instead of played a match where he's rolled out so he could tag out quick. But honestly, I blame Colin for that, for not just planting himself in the opposite corner so that when Jordan Trance rolled in, he was there to break it up, right? He
Colin's
gave
a
him
worker,
space.
brother.
That's Colin's fault. No, that's Colin's fault. You can call him a worker. That's his fault. So it's not totally on them for doing that. That was a spot that could have looked better if Colin was in a position he should have been in, but he let him tag out and it led to the finish. The other point that I wanted to mention, I know I'm talking forever. Jay, you mentioned that you hated like how he tried to roll him up and then he immediately hit him with the knee. I actually like that a lot because of what happened on the Go Home show where it was very similar, where he hit the knee and he did the pin. I think it was a rope break or something, and then he hit it again right after, like immediately after. It was like kind of a callback to that moment. So I thought that was,
but I can
it was
promise you that wasn't
organically. It doesn't matter if it was intentional because that's the show we watched. That's what I felt, right? So intentional or not intentional, that's what OCW is all about. Intentional or not intentional, these organic moments are what make it for me, and that was one of them. So shout out to the 3.5-year journey. I think John has done a great job on the shows of being a better person. He has done a terrible job in Discord. I still fucking hate him every time I see him. He's the worst. Like every time I see him type, I'm like, dude, do you not know how this works? Like, I can't cheer for you when you're being a dumb piece of shit.
Dummy.
It's so annoying. But on TV, he's done a great job. I love the Future Idiots. I love Max Storage. If we do get a third match, which we should, in my opinion, then I'm excited to see it, whether it's at Summerside or whatever we got here.
I think he's Sammy Guevara in the sense that he plays a face on TV, but he's a cunt. Rex, you're up. I mean, not Rex. Rust, you're up.
But you see what happens to Sammy. You see no matter if he's being a face on
Who's
TV.
gonna punch him in the face?
Nobody gives a shit. Yeah, we hate him. You just got to stop being
Rex
a
is
dumb
gonna punch him in the
asshole.
face in the back. I love it.
I can't. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So first, Max, keep my car's name out of your fucking package. First. No, but first I was like, because I didn't know which match was next. So when I watched it, I was like, hey, yo, hey, what is this? And then I understood the premise of the thing, and it was very well done. Actually, will one of the team turn on each other, or will the thing end? Looks like, you know, a bad habit in tag team situations and tag team champions. So that we started, and I don't know. And for the match itself, I have no real complaints. It was a good match. There was not a bad match tonight, so let's keep it at that. And it's just that, you know, I very much like tag team matches, whether it's in real life or OCW. I pride myself to have a high standards for tag team matches, and I know since 22 the game mechanics and stuff make it a bit difficult to have good tag matches, but you guys made it work. I didn't like really the meta thing, because that was in perspective, for call perspective, a bit of heelish, tactics, and Jordan Trance is not really heel. He's just an idiot, but just a nice idiot. And it was really in that moment, that was not Jordan Trance, it was Jamie for me. So it broke that barrier. But other than that, yeah, pretty good match. I still have a tough time with John matches because just like Ashley's matches, but that's just me. Just too many dodges and stuff, and too many things that you show that you know the game and you know how to play the game.
But
and
you
I
don't know how to
you can
work,
play-
brother.
No, he can work. John can work. I've seen him work, just like Ashley or anybody else. I think most of the people here in OCW can actually work a match, and I don't mean put on a 5-star or 4-star match or just imitates wrestling as it is in real life. No, it's just that I'm tired of watching 15 dodges a match. It's just me, some people gonna like it, not me. This time it was I won't say not as much, but since it was a pleasant night and a pleasant match, I didn't care too much about the dodges, even though I saw one too many sometimes. I was like, let's see, because the more the match went, the more it became interesting, I think, up until the gold meta thing, like Jake said. So the results, I'm glad that it was that result. I wouldn't have been happy with both results, to be honest. And to touch on just the entrances, because I didn't talk about it, I applaud the effort, because I'm not a Photoshop user, for example, so I know you, Dan, and everybody was like, just Photoshop the thing, and I appreciate the double entrance for Future Idiots. I think it was kind of genius with the cuts and everything. So yeah, props to them, and the Michael Jackson and Elton John entrance, and great moonwalk, by the way. And yeah, that was in general. I have no big complaints. That was okay. That was a good time. That was just a good time.
Fantastic, my guy.
I got one more thing to say.
What you got to
All
say,
right.
goddammit?
It's kind of to add on to what Jake said, all right? And that's that I'm pretty sure as long as I've been here, probably a little before that, there's been like no active former tag champs like in the division. Even if you include Pure Country, which didn't really make the hype package because they didn't fit the narrative. But even if you include them, like pretty much as soon as they drop the belts, they kind of just dissolve. And I just thought I kind of noticed that, and I was like, yo, that's kind of crazy because it's been like 4 years. How's that?
It's a good fucking point. We've done our time. Our watch has ended. Let some other fucking random team take the title. Hoot. Good fucking point. What's next on the docket, Maxie? Is it the DNS part 2?
Yep.
Okay, DNS part 2. Fun fact, there's a full extended version of that video available on YouTube probably now. So when you get a chance, be sure to check the web show. You'll see the extended version on that. That video is a little bit too long, and I said, fucking no, fix it. And they did it, so good. That's how we do. That's what we do on Lucian, baby. So we'll learn more about, is it Samuel, what is it, Samuel Omen?
Yep.
I like it. Fucking Jake was like, I'm glad I'm not Kasada because fucking I didn't know this was coming. So yes, DNS is growing too powerful. I hate it. We'll do Jake, Rust, Max, and then we can move on to the next segment. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, they did pro wrestling in the Ambition segment that we watched the last week. They said a bad omen is coming. Obviously, we knew a new rookie called Samuel Omen was on the way. What I mentioned in viewing party was like, I'm glad I don't do the clearances now because usually I'd have to download the calls so I know what they look like before they debut. I had no idea what he looked like, but I was 100% sure he was debuting with DNS. Doesn't have to be a bad thing. Like, you're teasing this and people who pay attention know it was coming. That's fine. The look is exactly what you would expect a rookie in OCW to look like. It's going to evolve. It's going to change. Like, once we all get our bearings, we all change. We all look like fucking idiots when we first debuted. Not to say that Samuel Omen did. I'm projecting myself right now. I look like a fucking idiot, and I evolved a lot. And I think Omen will as well.
He looks fine. It's just he's very big.
Omen's a big dude. He's a big, giant dude. And I think that's honestly one of the things that DNS was missing. DNS's presence in general, I don't want to talk too long about it. DNS's presence in general was all over the show, as you would expect it to be. They are they are just doing OCW the right way. And they're rookies, so it's unusual because it usually takes a while to get there.
Yep.
But they're fucking nailing it, and they're learning things along the way, like don't submit a 7-minute scrolling text promo on Lucian, like little things like that you'll figure out along the way. But like just
Or
the
don't ask
ambition
about
and
ambition titles.
yeah, the ambition or the courage and all that stuff is happening now, and that's why you're an orange name. Once you become a blue name, we'll complain about it, but right now, you're fucking killing the game. I love everybody in DNS.
Shit, like again, the fucking well, Devin's technically not in DNS because he's his own thing, but Devin Elliott was really good, and then the fucking Jinx Gonzalo match was also really good. So I like DNS. We'll see what happens. We'll see eventually how everything evolves, and I look forward. What's probably gonna happen in my head canon is fucking Sammy's gonna be like fucking 2023 Tibby Dupree when Tibby was basically fighting all of Lotus by himself, which is basically fucking Matsuda, Spider, Pato, and whoever the fuck else. It makes for good watching. So I'm looking forward to see what the fuck happens. It should be entertaining. Sammy and all his fucking desecrators, disseminators, and fucking fluffinators and flufficators and all that other bullshit. Russ, you're up, then Max.
You said there's a full version on YouTube right now, so I'm gonna watch it.
Should
later.
be. It's 4 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it after the pod. Actually, just talk about Samuel Omen, new DNS guy. Great faction. I'm usually against rookie faction, but like
Ditto.
everybody says, and now that since they're grown men, they know what they
Yep.
do. And
No
it
Che
shows.
Goldens.
And I didn't know. I just learned that I know some of them were older, but I didn't know that everybody was plus age. So as I am, and okay, just continue on the path, and I'm always intrigued. I'm still intrigued. Samuel Oman is a big motherfucker, and it's just let's see. I'm appreciative of that kind of effort, and on every show, whether it's a weekly show, Ambition, Lucian, they don't miss for now. So
Yeah.
I'm just very appreciative of all they've done. And the minimum amount of time they've been there. So kudos to them.
I'll say this. There was a couple rookie things, but fucking like there's a couple people missing. There's no Hanzo on Lucian. There's no fucking Scotty X on Lucian. A couple other people. It's like, bruh, this is
Thank
your
fucking
opportunity
God.
to get people.
Sorry.
Don't be rude. There's like this is your op to get fucking seen, but hey, it be like that sometimes. You can only lead a horse to water. You can't make a motherfucker drink. And if they
He'd
get
have to actually make
dehydrated,
content.
if they get dehydrated, that's on them. Anyway, Maxie, you're up.
Touching on something that Jake said earlier about the faction, and one thing I feel like when you see this kind of gimmick, you kind of see it in kind of like a really Bray Wyatt-y sense, where like it's very like deep and like they're kind of like pretty much full of themselves. But in this instance, they actually know how to keep it very basic and keep it very digestible, where it is like a pretty like I guess like niche kind of gimmick, right? Where it's all like all spooky hackery, but they don't make it like overly drawn out or anything. They're able to like make it like digestible by a wrestling audience. Something they do really well at. Kind of like, we had the little hint on Ambition, and then on, Wrestlution, we get the little debut package. I thought that was very genius. And I thought something something else that's different than from these guys and other rookie groups is I feel like these guys, it might be negative, but I feel like these guys came in kind of like quick play, but it seems like they've DM'd with each other and it's kind of like weeded it out. So now they know how to like properly play, and they're all like kosher. And that's something that you don't see too often.
Yes, and that's in part due to Sammy and the Sensei Hanzo. So shout out to them for that at least. Definitely. They all perform well thus far. It's been pretty like consistent. Like it starts off. It's basically nowhere near as awful as when the 2018 rookies came. Like I remember Elliott versus Jet Draven, that horror show. I remember Ashley Moore versus Bell. I remember the only good match was the twins, Antonio versus Doc, back in 2018, 2017. Now the rookies nowadays have exponentially improved in quality, like match-wise. Like off rip, it's not like, ugh. So that's good to see. Next, what do we have, Maxie? We're making fantastic time, by the way.
Blacksmith Quartz High Package.
Blacksmith Quartz High Package. I will say this. Short, to the point. I liked it a lot. I will be banging on the horse drum till the fucking cows come home. Everybody else can suck my dick from the back. I love Horse. Horse is enigmatic. Horse is fucking Horse, and that's all I got to say about that. He is a spectacle in and amongst himself. whether he's good at the game or not, he's always interesting to see. Either he gets his ass whooped, or he whoops somebody's ass, or something gets set on fire, or he fucking wins the head. Like, I love Horse. That's basically what I gotta say about the Horse. If you don't love Horse, you fucking suck, and I don't want to talk to your face. So we'll do Maxx, Rust, Quartz, go. I also like the match. Go ahead.
First on the high packs, I thought the high pack was really well synced. I feel like, they had like the little bright spots. I thought it hit the notes really well. As for like the song was kind of like, it was a little bit different than, I think the more like high packagey song was probably Tony and Claudio. That was like the most high packagey song. I think the song was a little different. And I enjoyed that. As for the match, I think we all were shocked, not only at the result of the match, but also like how the match got there, how the match progressed, and as it went on. I think we were all very shocked, and I think it wasn't the only time on the show where that kind of happened. But yeah, I thought it was really good. I wonder where Quartz goes from here after getting his goddamn broken ass eye getting stomped 3 times. I wonder where he's gonna go. And I wonder if Quartz is gonna disappear into the clouds, or if he's gonna be stable. No pun intended.
Fuck you, Max. Fuck you, Max. Fucking go ahead, Rusty.
He had that shit in the chamber.
He did.
I need to catch up on the promo package because I had shit to do and I tried to hurry. And
so just
I
go
didn't
about the
get
Max
to
thing. You
catch-
don't have to talk about the package.
Oh, Jesus.
We all got to piss.
I'm sorry.
Damn. It's fine.
No.
I'm not
don't be
trying.
rude.
Look, I'm not trying to be aggressive, Rusty. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you are. So don't try anything.
God damn.
So basically, the match itself, everybody was pretty sure that Horse was gonna win. So I bet on Horse because it was like 120K on Horse. I was like, what the fuck, dude? I know I want Horse to win because fuck Horse, fuck Italy as a whole. But actually, I was like, yeah, let's put 1K on Horse and see what happens. And I was shocked actually because I didn't know he could play the game. No, but that's not shot. That's not a shot because he's never here. So I don't know if he plays the game by himself or we don't see it. So I was like, Jake has more experiences with all the calls he had and everything. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a walk in the park. But actually, the way Horse played, kudos to him because he played like it was a Lucian match. He didn't play like. He showed he can play the game. He knows how to play game, but he didn't only do that. It takes a lot of balls to go for 3 finishers when you know that the bar. No, but he has three stacked finishers. And if we go to the meta and everything and spectacle, it makes sense. But it's also gutsy to go for 3 finishers in a row, knowing that the stun bar is gone for the 3rd one, and you still hit it. but also it also plays but for real. It also plays with the thing that Quartz is really tough to beat, and Horse knows 1 stomp won't, put Quartz down, and even 3 stomps didn't put Quartz down. So yeah, that was really gutsy, and that's his whole performance as a character, is that he's been gutsy all his career, whether it's hardcore matches or simple matches. He always go the extra mile to entertain, and that's what he did. So kudos to him, and he got the win at the end, even though the finish felt no, but for real, like Quartz kick out of fucking 3 stomps, but gets pinned on the fucking springboard, fake body splash, my ass. I don't know, but it's still a great match. I enjoyed it, real.
Yes. So sorry to cut you off, but so did I. Watching it happen live, because Jake won't say shit, so we're watching it live. I'm like, oh, he hit one. Oh, he's going for another one. And then once he went for the 3rd, I was like, oh shit! And then Quartz is like 2 count.
No, that was great. That was great.
Someone in fucking who I don't know who said it, but someone in the chat was like, well, that's why you only go for 2. Fuck you, meta bitch. Anyway, no, good fucking match. The body splash and the story afterwards that Jake told me between him and Horse had me fucking howling. Because Horse doesn't speak English. Horse doesn't speak English very well. He just goes, I'm sorry. I did not know. That would win the match. No, good fucking match. I'm glad motherfuckers went poor betting against Horse. I love Horse. Enigmatic fucking. He can show up, like, whenever he shows up, he gets a fucking match because it's fucking Horse. Suck a dick. Be as good at Horse. Maybe you get a match. Maybe you could be enigmatic as well. Being a fucking Italian who doesn't speak English, but fucking gets matches because he's talented or whatever the fuck, charismatic. Jake, your match, your thoughts, fucking go.
Yeah, so the first thing that I would say regarding the hype package is kind of maybe not specific to the hype package, but just maybe specific in general. Understand where your place is on a particular card is the best way I can put that. You all know, have seen, you've all seen me do, like, I did a 4.5 minute hype package against Cassidy Hayes. The one against Rex at Anniversary was like 4 minutes with the whole speech with B17 and everything. There's a difference. So this one, selfishly, I benefited from because I'm like, great, I only have to do about 45 seconds and then toss that After Effects image on the end. So, but my biggest thing is to use the music and everything as a benefit, because we don't have, like, WWE has the actual like promo packages and stuff that they can play the voices over and all that. We don't have that. So I use music as a weapon, and this one I did as well. The big hits come in, whatever. The match itself is a great example of like when you record something and you're like, your head is in your hands and you're like, fuck. And then once it finally is fully produced and whatever, you're like, okay, this is actually pretty great. And yeah, the whole 3 horse stomp thing is a perfect example of why I don't give a shit if you can beat quick play people online. I don't give a shit how good you are at the game. That's the little thing there, right there. Like, you don't care, like, about how the meta or how the game is going to operate here. You just go for it. And I am not going to lie to you. I practiced a lot before that match. I don't play this game. I don't play this game. Whenever I'm booked, I just boot up and I play. I understand the controls enough to be able to win matches. And I think, honestly, in OCW, as long as you know the controls and you know FPR, it's really all you need to know. So I don't DM, I don't play, whatever. But before this match happened, I practiced because I wanted to really wanted to get that mid move on the horse stomp and get a cutter or do whatever the animation was. So I missed the initial reversal. I missed the mid move. That stunned me. The second one, I didn't have any choice. When he goes for a third one, I'm like, this guy's out of his fucking mind. And then I miss both reversals again. And then the guy who is the worst on the planet at kicking out is able to kick out. It's only poetic that Quartz is able to kick out of 3 finishers and then not kick out of a splash. But hey, OCW, no redos, Bubba. No fucking redos. We play, the organic nature of this place is what makes it the most fun.
Redo it to look strong.
Kidding. That match, no. If everybody did that, it would be the most boring shit ever, And so he hit me with that. I'm like, I know, but other people may be too dumb to know that you're being sarcastic, so I had to make it clear. But like after he hit it, I'm like, I am so sorry. He's like, no need for apology. It happens to everyone. And I'm like, this guy's a savant. I don't know. He's better than all of us. But yeah, I was super happy with that. We had a lot of history to build on in this, with like teasers, right? We didn't actually fight before this. That was the whole draw. It was like a first time ever. But he was supposed to be in that Riot 600 match. That wasn't meant to be an angle. He got called away from work in real life. So we had to like put in that ambulance thing. So for him to come back and fight Quartz at this time was I really enjoyed the build. I also understood where we were in the card. We were never going to be, big premier main event. We were never getting to Nate Drago levels or Tara Imp levels. So I'm like, let's just hit each other with finishers and make it dramatic and do our thing. And we did. And the match was fun. And even though I thought that it was going to be kind of shaky going in, when we called it and hearing Jay's reaction, I'm like, okay, this is fine. Like, I'm happy with this. And my God, the betting, seeing 150,000 coins on Quartz and like just leaning back in my chair and going, I cost a lot of people a lot of money. That was a lot of fun. But
Frog
it was
got
super
stung
fun.
by the scorpion.
One thing,
hoot.
So we talked about a lot about this match, but one thing we have not talked about is the very abrupt ending, which I was not a part of. I let Horse handle that himself because I didn't want to be spoiled. When it happened on commentary, it's just the guy slides in the ring, he punches him with the metal hand, and he leaves. I have my own theories on who that is based on the fact that he was wearing a sleeveless shirt and I can see a tattoo.
I was like, is that Dibs?
But
But he put on weight.
No, but No, I could clearly tell who it is here.
Yeah,
based
I
on
have
what's
an
happening
idea.
around the Fed.
I have an
But
idea.
despite that, we haven't really talked about that. So I don't know if anybody has any thoughts on that. He punched him. He left. That's kind of how
That
it
was
is.
a
But
park. He
it's-
was
it
mad about
served
what
its
happened with
purpose.
Aries, so he wanted to get revenge on Horse.
No, stop
He
it.
wanted
Stop.
to get revenge on Horse.
He was way
for
too
something.
white to be Alparca.
Oh my god, he was bad. Did we miss anybody? We're good, right? We can move on to the next one.
I got thoughts that.
What's your
aren't
thoughts?
regarding
Yeah,
the
I
Yeah,
think
ending.
Max
Go ahead,
More
on the
thoughts.
end segment.
sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's not regarding that. I'll say one. It seems
Okay.
like in OCW, when you prepare for a match, when you really try to hone in, everything goes to shit because you're thinking about it too much, you care too much,
Yep.
That's
and
so
you're done
right.
for. You're absolutely done for.
That's so right.
It happened to me before. It just laughs here and there. You're like, I'm preparing for Horse. I'm gonna get this major, and then every single
No,
time it didn't happen.
You're definitely not.
He's like, no.
And
I'm
another
a fan
thing,
of it, though.
and another thing is, I feel like between this match and like the last loss for the against Rex, I feel like obviously we kind of see Quartz kind of going through some character changes, but I feel like he's had some like the strongest looking losses in like history. He's at like tribal chief levels of like hitting everything, and he keeps getting up, and it's pretty hilarious to look at. That's it.
Took the
I
kitchen sink to
appreciate
get
that.
it. Took 3 horse stomps and a powerful Italian body splash with extra pepper, with extra prosciutto to fucking take him out. Am I going over? No, brother. But it's gonna take 3 finishers, kid, to put me out.
I'm not going over. Put me in a head wrap, and I'm not selling 3 finishers in a row.
I'm not. All right, kid. I'm not selling your finish, but you can get a body splash because my hip hurts. What's the next segment?
Trey Golden and the inappropriately titled video
Oh,
on,
I
this,
love
on
this.
YouTube.
I like seeing
love
Trey.
this.
In my head, that thing was 5 minutes, but it didn't feel like 5 minutes. I could be wrong, but yeah, no follow up. I like the whole Trey thing. At one point, I think fucking Mac thought he was gonna be on Lucian with Trey. I was like, no. So that was the alternative, and I think it worked out. They had a night 1 segment. We'll do Snake. So we'll do Rust, Max, then Jake. Go.
I
That's
like
not
it.
how Snake works, but go ahead. Russ.
I was,
It's an L.
You shuffled it.
I was waiting for
The
the
deck.
Trey response to the Iceman Pro early on, and yeah, the little scuffle they had and the Marissa thing, and I hope they're going to do their stuff at Summerside finally, because I thought first they were going to do it at Lucian, but then when I saw the future investment match and Trey wasn't in it, I was like, okay, it was a bit like Cass and Reese. I hope they're going one-on-one maybe next show. I don't know, but those kind of feuds. But it was enjoyable. I think overall, and this segment also has been the best work Trey has done in his career, basically. I was about to say in a long time, but yeah, no, his entire thing I think is the most compelling story, and I like it. I like it, and I'm not sure yet about the Mercer role and all this. I'm more focused on the 2 other guys in it, and and that was good. Nothing bad to say about it.
Max, you're next. Yes.
Yeah, building off what Russ said, I thought this was some very excellently written stuff from Trey, like a little in-ring promo, which we don't really see as much anymore, right? I also didn't really feel like 5 minutes. While watching this one and the name promo earlier, I kept thinking, I was like, this is a comparison that you don't like to make comparisons, but I was like, this feels like very much like the Bloodline. And I couldn't think of why. And then I realized now the reason why is because it feels very personal. It feels very like familiar, like we're watching like kind of like an ugly sort of like break between like the trust in them. Like there's like very much like, how could you do this to me? I thought we were supposed to be us, and it kind of felt like I was really into it. I am really into this now. It kind of feels like in the New Jack City, you know what I mean? Like you let the girl get in your head, all that, and I'm really into it. I'm really into on both sides.
Jakey Jake.
Max hit all the high notes here. He is echoing everything I've said. Sometimes in wrestling, whether it's OCW or real life, it only takes like one really well executed thing. I know Max and Garcia initially looked like they were going to be, the feud, and then Garcia, like things happen, whatever. I don't think it has to be a Lucian feud. I'm actually excited to see that we have something big on the horizon for maybe Summerside, or maybe if we have a pay-per-view before then. But the only thing I want to say, because Max hit all the notes that I wanted to say anyway, is a lot of times in these situations, people will immediately identify who the editor was or who the final like person who put it together was. In this case, clearly Marissa. And they'll just completely just denounce the other people. So I didn't think I would be here right now, but I'm going to defend Trey because Trey's work over the last couple of months has been great. And although it has been packaged in a better way than Trey is capable of, Trey is a part of this. Like these storyboards that are created, when we do this shit behind the scenes, it requires cooperation, and Trey is a part of that. Trey might not have all these excellent skills that Rye has to put things into motion, but at the end of the day, it's all a collaborative thing. And this, just watching the stream, like, man, those two promos that we saw today between Iceman and Trey immediately sold me on everything I want to see. It was a perfect set, like a response. I didn't think we'd get a response until tomorrow. So for Trey to come out with his new theme and his new presentation and call out Iceman and have the whole like back and forth with Marissa and everything, I thought was tremendous. Like I'm such a huge fan of this. To Max's point.
Fair enough. The only thing is, I say it would be like the Bloodline. Just in the sense it's a group, but yeah, I know for a fact that neither of these motherfuckers watch like, TV wrestling, so I just give it, happenstance. It's not like Leon Hart where Leon Hart would watch Raw and then Wednesday, because that's when Riot was on Wednesday. Would cut a fucking,
I also think that's too broad, right? Like it's not, they're not like blood, they're not brothers, it's a different kind of thing. Like they're close, but I don't think it's a one-to-one thing at all. It's just a faction kind of dissolving. I don't think all of that needs to come back to the bloodline.
And I can't wait to see what the fuck happens between them. So I'm assuming, I don't know if it's going to be Summerside or 300. I know 300 is already fucking packed to the gills, so we'll see what's up with that. More work for us, Jake. Yay. What's next on the docket, Maxie?
Tony and Claudio, package and match.
Okay, the package, I enjoyed the package, pause. The only thing is like, I swear I've heard that song like today. Am I bugging? Or maybe tomorrow? Or maybe it's because the same band.
No, the Star Set one, right?
Yeah.
The last year.
Isn't that fucking... That was a theme that we used, right? For something?
No, that was
sure?
that was the music they used in the hype package for Blacksmith versus Cassidy Hayes.
Oh, I swear to God, I've heard that shit recently.
So I actually had to ask too, and you might have, because it's very popular on Spotify or whatever, but I asked that too. I'm like, we've definitely used this, but like that triggers immediately, right? When you hear something, like when Anthony Martin debuted, and his theme is the same theme I used for Road to Glory like 4 years ago. So like whenever that happens, it kicks into your brain, and you're like, I definitely heard this in OCW before. Yeah. But where? And
that's the only thing. But
that's why the joke came out.
Yeah, it's gonna happen unless people get like eclectic music taste. But no, I like the video. It encapsulated the stuff. So shout out to Claudio or Rye rather for the pivot, because again, like the only reason this got like this is because the stupid fan attack thing. I was like, fuck this. I started throwing my GM D&D thing. I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna fire you, Hoot. That's how I said Rye, like, well, we're gonna fire you for attacking the fan, so figure it the fuck out. And then Rye countered with a counter sue, and then got the match and then I countered with it's unsanctioned, and then now we're countering with which we'll get into later after the meltdown portion. So that's what I'm gonna do to people, like when they do like dumb shit that I don't like attacking fucking fans. I'm gonna sue you, I'm gonna fuck with you, and then you're gonna figure it out, and we're gonna make something good out of your stupidity. So it worked out really good. I like the idea of the unsanctioned stuff, because honestly, I was really prepared on if Claudio would have won that match, or Claude rather, it would have been like the summer, like the last year's Summer of Han, where I was prepared for Han to win, to fuck off forever, like for like weeks, months, and then show up, I am le champion, you have to fight me, and then shit like that. So I was prepared to do that. And I had like a storyboard in my head of how Rye could go about that shit. I was gonna have Rye show up at fucking random spots and just fucking big dog motherfuckers. I don't care. It was gonna be fun, but that didn't happen. The match itself, solid fucking match. The pomp and circumstance is really good of a worthy of a co-main event. Tony, right? This is what you said. This is in February, right? So February, March, April, May, June, July, roughly 6 months, something like that. More or less 5-6 months. Like that's feuding 5-6 months on and off, like getting your stories together. people don't understand that. Like, and it was organic. It wasn't like rushed or I gotta get this match. So I can... No, it was just take it as it goes and whatever. So I like the whole story. I like the conclusion. I don't even think this is the final bit of it, to be honest with you, because there's still some stuff that we'll talk about after the fact. But I guess in this case we'll do Jake, Maxx, then Russ. Go ahead, go for it. We're making great time, by the way.
I love the hype package so much. I thought it was a perfect way, and like you know this. Like if I look back in the past, one of the reasons I love Tony so much, Callum, both of the twins, is like they understand the moment. They understand the context of everything because they follow OCW, so they know when they're a big deal and when they're like lower on the card. This case was a situation where this feud honestly has lifted the international championship to main event status. We will talk about the main event in a moment, and I do not think that this match could have main evented over what we're about to see.
Oh boy.
But motherfucker, like you're talking about Lucian, you're talking about this whole build. Other people may disagree with me, but I love these long feuds.
Oh hell yeah.
What you undoubtedly will know that having watched anything I've done over the last 4 years. But Tony, this hype package with the letterbox and like hitting all the high notes of all the things they've done and not reusing any footage. Like, say what you will about the music, whatever. It's hard to remember what happened last year between another feud, but goddamn, like it's been such a journey here. I think this, other than probably Drago and Nate and Tara and Empress, is probably one of the longest running feuds on the show.
Yes. And
they have put so much care and respect into it. Nobody died and came back to life for no reason. It's just been so well done, and they have both taken such great care on it. If this is the ending, it's amazing, and I'm going to wrap my comments here into what happened after. I fucking love Claudio losing his mind and cursing and beating up people.
We'll talk about that again later, yes.
Yeah, because like I know like Lucian is kind of the end game where we're like moving into a different era, like a different future, but to set things up for me to be excited about going forward, like I get to see maybe what the next evolution of Claude Hall might be. It was very well done. They took great care of it. The match was super fun. I honestly thought Claudio was going to win it multiple times at this point, but at the end of the day, the Tarantula is not fuck-withable. He's the longest running CCW champion for a reason. Yeah. And boy, the international championship has been elevated so much by these two's effort.
Yeah, hell fucking yeah. Who's next? I forgot. Is it Russ or Maxie? It's Maxie, right?
It's Maxx.
Go ahead, Maxie.
I think for the hype package, other than the music, I thought, Tony always kind of goes crazy with those. I feel like this is Tony. I'm going to make that assumption. I thought he killed it. As for the feud, I would agree with what Jay did. Starting stepping in kind of made the feud interesting, kept it moving. I thought all the ancillary pieces, however you say that word.
Great word. No, you said it right. Great word.
Kind of kept it moving where you had, I feel like Tony in character, this was like the easiest feud for him, right? He was chilling. But I thought this was such a star-making feud for Kareem, who's kind of growing into his own thing way more than what he has.
Yeah.
Very underrated. And then also for Claudio, I think this feud and this match did way more than the title on its own ever could have. So now like literally everybody kind of wins out of this match. Tony picks up the dub, the belt gets elevated, and Claudio can really just, the world's at his disposal now. So I absolutely loved all of it.
So before we go to Russ, my thing on Claudio is he went from an NPC who looked like deformed in the face, I guess, to a fucking former international champion, to being on the co-main of Wrestlution. Like watching, like Ken said, like watching that evolution in real time. Like it really is D&D for wrestling nerds. Like watching it in real fucking time. Like this is not just, one little spot. Like, oh hey, I joined last month. Am I on Lucian, brother? Am I? It's this fucking guy's been at it for a long fucking time, and to see the evolution and the growth and whatever, it's really, really, I guess, cool to see. I liked it so much. I'm looking forward to the next chapter, which we'll talk about like in a little bit later. And before we get to Russ, the only other thing, my only complaint, you big as fuck, stop doing them high kicks. Cut it out. It's annoying as fuck to watch. I don't like it. Russ, you're up.
So not champion and unemployed now, so I guess you can go back to basic.
Lower rates, bitch. Lower rates.
Yeah, so no, for the package, we return to a more traditional one in the good sense of it. Like the crescendo,
Credit to Emp. Sorry, Russ. Go ahead. Ugh.
okay, not credit to him, fucker.
Oh.
And, yeah, the package, the
I wouldn't
feature
fuck her with
pack-
your dick.
Wow.
Oh Jesus!
Well, she bought a
Bang.
stuffed one, so she's good.
So going
Sorry,
back to the
Russ.
package, yeah, like I said, it built the stuff crescendo. I don't know if it's Tony or Riot did it, but either way, good fucking content, great fucking content. As for the match itself, I don't know what to say except it was probably my second or third best match of the night because we're going to talk about what's following that. But the match itself was great. The everything it had everything the story told us. Like the story in itself was really good and really long, but it was never like a moment in the story that it fell flat. It is sometimes in long stories you get like the beginning of the build, which is great, a middle part with where some moving parts are like there and there, and you're like, okay, but it's been like 5 months of build
Yeah, about
to
5-6. Yeah.
resolution. Yeah, 5 or 6, worth it, like worth it. Claudio as a character has evolved so much, and even in playstyle, because in 22 Riot was not that good at telling
Yeah.
a story or managing his stuff in the ring. It was always good with promo packages and characters and segments and everything, but he took a step further with the way he plays, especially I think with Claudio is way more viewable and enjoyable, I think, nowadays. So the chemistry in the ring between Tony and Claudio was superb, and I actually didn't think it was going to be one fin to, I think it was one fin to a finish. Yeah, I think so. The Ma's favorite knee and then the pin, yeah. So it changes because we know at this game, usually one finisher doesn't equal win. So you build yourself up to wait for the second or third finisher for the match to be over. And this one was like, oh, okay. Tony looks strong as always because Tony is one of the greatest champions we ever had.
Yes.
So and Claudio is on the level now. He grown so much and showed that he's getting there in the main event scene more and more. So
Well,
if
he's been there
he
too, though. Yeah.
if he's employed in another company, that is. And the thing is, Tony gives that international title this great vibe, this great rub from the character that is Tony, because Tony, even without a title, is still Tony. Like every match is going to put out is going to be a great match and a great story and everything. So shout out to him for pushing forward with the international title, and can't wait to see both parties what they're going to do next for Summerside and everything. So glad we witnessed it. Now on to bigger and better things for both.
We shall see.
And subverting those expectations, just real quick. Subverting those expectations is what makes some of the finishes like so spectacular. We talked about it a little bit with Quartz and Blacksmith, but like the damage that these two did to each other throughout, usually it'll get to a point where it's just like, oh, immediately when they're red-orange, that's when the fin happens, and then they kick out multiple times. But they battered each other and reversed multiple finishes throughout.
Bullshit.
They battered each other and reversed each other multiple attempts, and then like the fact that it went boom dim mock, and then he picked him back up and then went boom your mom's favorite knee, which at this point they're the same thing, but whatever. Different animations. Like the back-to-back knees was such a great exclamation point to it after the story they told in the first like 9 minutes. So that subversion of expectations, especially when you think, oh, they're gonna kick out at 0 or whatever, that is what makes a lot of this shit exciting, honestly.
Yes. Next segment, Maxi.
I believe it's Mugen.
Ah, fucking Larry.
Oh God!
Larry
Can we
is
skip this?
Larry thought we were gonna call his match, and I'm like, I mean, it came in on time, but I'm like, I'm not calling any more fucking things. But yeah, no, that's a fucking entrance, bro. That's a fucking entrance. So not like, no one here is I guess not emotionally mature, but no one here is mature enough to use Sinatra. So fucking Larry busting out. Yeah, like just like no one's really mature enough to use fucking Elvis. You know, I'm surprised someone didn't go with Britney Spears. Actually, never mind. Fucking, you know, yeah. So it was nice seeing Elvis. It was great with Sinatra, and the fucking Tron package was mint. Nothing really to say about this other than fucking pushing thing and then piecing out as soon as Drago's music hit. What do you want? I love it. Fuck Larry, basically. At will, Jake, fucking Maxx, Rust, go.
Yeah, I'll keep it short. The entrance was spectacular. It was Lucian perfect. Like the fact that we have this event that you have built, Jay. Like, you deserve all of your flowers. 17 actual years, 17 actual
Some have
Wrestlution
been horrible,
events.
but not recently.
It's actually 18 years, but this what you have built. The fact that we have segments like what we'll get to shortly, and like even with Aries earlier, like the reason that he felt compelled to do that is because of this platform. That's all on you. That entrance was amazing on its own. I fucking hate Mugen right now. I want him to get killed, and hopefully tomorrow we will have something that will give us an avenue to kill Mugen. But him running away, it's more what I talked about before. Like, there's more OCW after Lucian. This isn't the end game, so there should always be some content that should build to what's coming after.
Hells yeah, Rusty.
Great fucking entrance. Great piece of video work, and fuck Larry, basically.
Fuck Larry.
Fuck Larry. And no, that was a good little promo with, you know, just to tease again and to insult Drago a little more, and remind everybody, even though they don't need to be reminded, that Nate vs. Drago is tomorrow night. So yeah, and the thing with that's my cue and just flee off this.
That's my cue to fuck off.
And just no, that was just a very mutant little entrance, and you know he had to be there to make his entrance in at Lucian. So yeah, great.
Maxie, luck me a lady tonight. You're up.
We're in Las Vegas,
Yes.
and living legend Larry Mugen is the definition of a high roller.
Oh, fuck you, dude.
That's all I gotta say. I need to use the bathroom, so I'm gonna do that. The next segment is Claude Hall's Treble Meltdown.
Yes. Number one. When I saw this, he had a black eye, which attention to the little things are great. Number two, at first I watched it twice. The first time I loved it. The second time, like, mate, this might be too long. But then watching it on stream for the third time, I'm like, oh, this is perfect length. This, other than, you know, I'm not gonna complain about, oh, it sounds like a cell phone, because you can only do what you can only do. The fucking emotion and the temp, like, all right, let's put this in perspective. Claude comes from money. Yes. His father's a lawyer, like a high time roller. Yes. Claude's a spoiled bitch. Yes. Claude is a man child. Yes. So to have a fucking temper tantrum after you lost the match and you don't have a job, fucking S tier, dude. Fucking S tier. And then the best part was the trying to bleep out. 98% got bleeped. So that made it funnier because, of course, you people love to curse. So the fact that this was bleeped out for the most part, except like one or two, whatever, made it even better. He just furious, angry, annoyed, and then assaulting your dad slightly, and then fucking up security. Guess what, motherfucker? You're getting sued, baby. I said it on the introduction video in the YouTube. You're getting sued. It ain't over. Oh, I'm gonna take you. You gonna be poor as fuck, baby. You gonna have your dad bail you out. You getting poor in the motherfucker. And then the roaring and oh my man is hanging around with no knee pads, shouting with a black eye in his underwear, beating up security, getting out. He's out the building right now in his drawers, just his drawers with a black eye, and he can't even call an Uber. Come on, man. It's fucking cinema, to quote Triple H and everybody else this week. Fuck, oh man, that was the great capstone to a fucking feud. Like, he's like, the ref counted to 5. I heard 2. This is bullshit. Why are you out here First, he went from being upset about the count, then he got mad at his dad for being out there. Dad didn't do shit, and he got mad. He just fuck this company, fuck everybody. Oh my fucking god, that shit was fucking. That's like probably my promo of the night, not video, but promo of the night. That shit had everything. We'll do Russ when Max comes back. So we'll do Russ, Jake, and then you're back. So we'll do Russ, Max, and then Jake. Go for it. That shit was fucking great.
Let Max go first.
Go ahead,
Just
Max.
check out.
Oh, it was absolutely fantastic. I don't know, like this Claudio, kind of him like all of a sudden kind of having voice. He's done it absolutely to perfection. He obviously conveys his character so well, and it wasn't even like there was like a little trial period. He was still figuring it out. It was just fresh out the gate, just banger, and that's what this was. I would agree with you. I would agree with you when you said this was probably like the video promo of the night. This was amazing.
Fuck me, I love that shit. Russ, you want to add something?
Yeah. No, just stop beating up OCW staff.
We getting sued. Don't matter.
Like,
Go ahead, beat up staff, motherfucker. Yeah, I'll take it to the poorhouse. We gonna keep it rolling, baby.
Security, nurses, president, just stop beating up people. But I understand frustration. Now go to the job
Go to
application
GCW.
and go to.
Oh fuck! I can't,
Okay.
yo. If Claudio does like a video where he's a GC, like actual GCW, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. He's getting glassed or getting beer thrown at him. Why the fuck you booing me? I'm the good.
I want to see Claudio apply for jobs. Like
You
really, I want to see.
Because his dad cuts him off.
And he comes to the interviews in his shorts, trunks, and no nothing, and he gets denied. And even in the worst jobs ever, he gets denied. So he gets humbled a little bit. So yeah.
I mean, logically, it would make like, because Claude's dad got lots of money. I don't think Claudio's independently wealthy, even though everyone in fucking OCW is wealthy. But if Claude's dad cuts him off and then he's getting sued on top, that's a whole like broke ass Baron Corbin angle for Claude. Like, he gonna be broke. He ain't gonna have no job. He ain't getting hired here. He gonna be broke as shit. So that could be like a possible redemption arc where Claudio learns to be less of a cunt. I don't know. That's just me fucking throwing out good ideas. But yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes. But yes, 100% Claude's getting sued. So you're getting fucked on that front. On attack security, stupid. Jake, your thoughts?
I already gave my thoughts. I was a big fan of it. What Max said, I think, in the chat is the only thing I want to add here. I want to see Claudio go into full into his Deborah Soto arc. Like, I want to see where this free agent shit lives. That's kind of all that I'm looking for.
Broke on the indies. Broke on the
whatever.
indies.
Yeah, whether it's bum ass Claudio or like he finds a way to thrive, whatever it is, like there's a lot of different avenues you can play with right now, which is fun.
Yeah.
Bum ass has a hilarious double meaning.
Yeah, from the tribal cheeks to bum ass Claude. Oh man, bum ass Hall. Oh my god, there's so much potential.
The impoverished cheeks.
Yeah, can
coming
you
back from
imagine?
Riot.
He's cut off from his family. He's on the indies now. He ain't making no fucking money. Learns humility, comes back as a face for a little bit, and then eventually becomes an asshole. Like, I don't fucking know. There's a lot of growth.
Well, there's one thing that we know, and it's that Rye being in control of the destiny means that whatever happens is going to be good.
Imagine Claudio trying to become face and going to therapy. You can't lash out like this. Why? It's not conducive. Why not?
Bleep, bleep, bleep.
Fucking, oh my god. Okay. Next segment is Pandora thingy thing. Yes.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, the Pandora. So this went late because obviously what happened. Very heartwarming, very nice. I liked it. I have nothing really to add. I'm glad Bax is back. Is back, or is it just a one-time thing, Jake? I don't even fucking know. Is that the case?
You know me well enough to know that I'm not going to reveal any of future plans right now. But I'll just go ahead and go first.
I'll say on you.
Yeah,
Hot Tui.
let you go first. Here,
Hot Tui to you. It made me happy. Fuck you.
Is that all you got? Yeah.
That's all I got.
So I got to mention that in viewing party, it was tremendous to see Scotty show up right before this happened because Scotty has had no idea what has been going on. Scotty has no idea what OCW is. I don't even know if he can read, but like for him to show up and then this segment to happen was so perfect because the whole premise is that like Carmine is coming to his own, like he's getting out of Pandora or whatever, and then he's trying to apologize to Scotty X for the whole Team KX thing. Paul Boulay, who's a character I fucking love, and immediately when I was putting this together, I'm like, yeah, I need this to happen. It's similar to, Jay, if you remember Wrestlution 13, when I had the man called Jupiter, and I'm like, I love this new character, Mark Reese. I think he's great. I think he's destined for big things. I want to do a good segment with him. And then like Mark Reese came out and threw him out of the ring or whatever. It was a big pop.
Yes.
So I kind of wanted to do a similar thing there. But I also was dead set on the ending of this is Baxter coming out, and we're going to do a whole thing, you know. So I loved how this went over. Like, it was very simple. This was another one like similar to the Antonio Everett thing that went 5 minutes, or not Antonio Everett, I'm sorry, Claudio, that went 5 minutes. It didn't seem like it for me because there's a lot of action going on. The Gilbert thing, watching the chat, because I know there's only a handful of people that understood it, when Gilbert showed up and started like bumping on Paul Boulay for people to like go, is that fucking Gilbert? And then like the whole pop. It was just a dumb, fun resolution segment that had like actual meaning to it, because Cutlass was never supposed to break up. I know the big stereotype is you either win the titles or you lose them and you break up. That was never the intention. Bax got ran out of her home. We did not want to break up, but we made the best of the situation. So I felt this was a good bookend. I felt this was a good bookend to like that Cutlass story 1 year ago when we lost the Sanctum to now, like kind of wrapping up the whole Pandora sequence that we've done in a nice package. And I have already received several DMs from people who have donated to the Trevor Project. Thank you. We have raised over $325.
Jesus.
So big shout out to everybody who has donated to the Trevor Project. Fuck all these weird. Fucked Ron DeSantis. I hope anybody who, like I did when I donated, I donated in Ron DeSantis's name. I hope anybody who donated in to the name of the politician that they hate the most. It's all about love. It's all about appreciation. Bax deserves it. Like, Bax is a legend at this point, been here since 2004. Is not in a situation where they could have possibly put a segment together themselves. So all I did was ask, like, hey, you want to show up at Lucian? She said yes. I'm like, all right, let's make this happen. Obviously, Mangoose is the best.
Oh, Mangoose is fucking great. Unsung hero.
And it's so, oh my God. You know, it's funny, and I'll post the screenshot after.
He didn't get a pop because he's fucking, you know, it's a fucking whatever, but he's one of the
right, but it's
best.
A new character.
He's one of the best.
But it's a new character, though. And this Paul Boulay character is great, but I should post a screenshot where I send the clip to Angus, and I'm like, hey, is this all good with you? He's like, it's perfect. The only note I would have is I would want Boulay to take a bump from Gilbert, like Gilbert run into him, and I'm like, this is why I love you. Like, this is the shit. Like, it's not like, oh, I want to look strong, brother. It's like, let me take a bump for the parrot. I'm like, man, that's so funny. But yeah, it was really all for that. I've talked too long already, but I'm happy that
is anybody else we missing?
I honestly expected it was going to go on night 2. But
did we miss anybody else on this? Oh, if you wanted a night 2, you should specify. Anybody else?
No, I didn't. It wasn't a want thing. I just expected that's where it was going to go.
I got to keep people excited. Nobody else on this one. Yeah. So shout out to fucking Angus. Angus, I will say this: the feud that will never happen that I always dream of. This would be for Wrestlution that I would book Paul Pugh versus fucking Court Marshall. That's a fucking co-main event just for the fucking wrestling. Basically, that's it. Anyway, that would bring the house down for me, but never happened. Anyway, I digress. We have the CCW promo package and CCW main event. Yes?
Sounds about right.
Make an excellent time. So I'll say this. The promo package was excellent. Got a little misty, as did Kent, and a few other people got very misty with it. I thought the video was a minute, but it wound up being 4. That's how quickly it flew by. Again, for everyone on Twitch listening to us ramble about this is our hobby or whatever. This is a community effort. This is not me, the voice you're hearing, JCS or whatever, OCWFED. This is our community putting these things together, and me just kind of putting all their tapestry in a sensible like order. The video package between Rex and B17 dates back, if I'm not mistaken, to 2015, 2016, around that line. It's been about 7 years, almost 8 years. So it dates back then. Back when they were both rookies, back when B17 was the biggest idiot, the biggest pain in the ass, the biggest guy who got banned from the site, who got fired from like fucking 5 jobs for being a petty idiot. Like to go there and to become someone who I consider like trusted in the fact that they're a future legend and they know their shit is he's like the one success story. Him and Bobby Minnie are the success stories that I always bring up. But yeah. This is 7 actual years. Not, hey, I showed up, can I join the Discord? No, these motherfuckers been here for 7 years, grinding, fighting each other, and that video package showed that. And just watching it evolve, it's crazy, because 7 years just whisked by. It's crazy to see. So this main event had a lot of sentimental value, and the match itself, I'll get into that later, but the package itself was beautifully well done. I loved it. Fucking proud of that shit. I didn't make it, but they did. But it was fucking good to watch. So we'll do Maxx, Russ, Jake, go. Package first, then the pause, then the fucking match.
Jesus. I think, might be mistaken, I think this is Rex's first singles main event of Wrestlution.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
So,
fuck you, Rex.
Wait, what did you just say?
So I think this is his first singles main event of Wrestlution.
Singles, yes. Yeah.
I see what you do. Don't try that, Jake.
Yeah,
Come
sorry.
on.
Sorry, I was half paying attention, and I didn't want him to get mad at you for saying that. So.
Why would I get
anyway,
mad?
as for the hype package, this match, I understood, very well. It was deserving the main event. I was hyped, the big names, but I was like, but there's still like the anxiety. I was like, we weren't really unsure. But as soon as that hype package started playing, like the nerves just started calming down. I was like, oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. And then the match happened, and it just got even better. And I was so happy. This was definitely deserving of the main event. This was what a main event should be. I loved it from start to finish. It was the best match on this night. I don't think it was like much of a debate for me internally.
Mm-hmm.
Every moment of it, from the entrances, high package, finish, before that, all of it.
Okay, Russ, you're up.
So only the package, right?
Yes, package first. Pause.
Okay. Package was what I say every time for the package is like the music is so important
Yes.
to the package, and this. Well, let me get this straight first. When I knew Rex was B7 was happening, I was like, okay, at Lucian 1-on-1, but I wasn't sure Adam was familiar with the game, because last time we saw him was Mugen and Drago beating his ass, and I don't blame him. He doesn't play the game. He can't play the game. I mean, he supposedly can't play the game, but as we all saw, and we will discuss it later, he can't play the game pretty well. But the fact that when they announced it, I was like, oh, okay, I expected maybe someone else for Rex, someone new, but I have nothing against it. The moment the package starts and the music hits and the cuts backstage between B17 and Rex and the story, I was like, okay, that's the main event. I know why this is the main event. I'm gonna watch the match, but I know why this is the main event. Why am I having those feelings? Because I know, like Jake and many others that are still here, we grew in OCW with that rivalry still going on. When I first came in OCW, this thing was already on. It was like 6 years ago. So watching it evolve in that package, like the famous failed cash-in from Rex all the way to the last match and everything, very detailed, very soothing, and very emotional at the same time. So that was the perfect package. For me, that was the best package of the night, and not even of the night. I think maybe both nights. We shall see. But just the story, the feelings, everything was there. Kudos to I don't know if it's Adam or Aiden who did it, but whatever. It's just perfect. And we're gonna talk about the match later, but yeah, everything was just worthy of Lucian main event for sure.
Who's next? Because I dumb forgot. Jake,
me?
you're up. Yes.
Yeah, man. This is a perfect example of recognizing where you are and like the history. I mentioned it a little bit with Tony and Claudio in their 7-month build. but this shit is 7 years. Like having this package, my favorite hype package that has ever been aired in OCW that I did not make is Antonio Everett versus B17 at Wrestlution 15. Run Boy Run got me in my feelings like I have never been before.
I hate the song, but yes.
This felt similar to me, honestly. Like it gave me the same vibes, all of the old footage that was played. And like this is the difference between people like me who try and get overly artistic or anything like that. Yeah. They kept the HUDs in, like they kept all of the generic footage in. There was no attempt to try and overly zoom it in or anything, but it also helped because seeing the old HUDs and seeing all of the old game footage really does hammer the point home that these two motherfuckers have been fighting. And I posted it in chat before it started. In these feds, like it's so easy to be like, oh, they've been feuding for 10 years. And it's like, oh, the 10 years was fabricated in your mind before we started. No, this is a real deal thing. This is like 2014, 15. These dudes were going after it. 2017, 18, these dudes were going after it. It is now 2023. These are real years. We're not fucking around here. We're not making anything up for Twitch views. And that's what I love so much. And I think maybe some of the emotion may be lost on people who don't know B17. I know guys.
Oh, they like, fucking learned. They learned
all
that
the DNS, all the DNS class, all the people who just joined in the 2K22-23 era may not understand it. But for people who were here before that and know who B17 is and know what he was, Doom Machine, the unkillable, the PlayStation comparison to Drago, if it like that's the best way I can put it, right? Like personally wise, they are very different people, but once you get in that ring, it's Drago and B17, and that's how it's always been for me as a viewer. Man, they did a masterful job on this promo package. I was bought in before, but I was bought into this being the main event over everything else that we saw on this show by the hype package alone.
So now we go to the fucking match. I yelled about it a couple times on VP and my fucking my inebriated shenanigans, but yes, Rex has by far and away the best moveset in OCW today. Why? Because Rex plays to his strengths. He's a fat guy who, thank you, Hustler. He's a fat guy who basically pummels you and does things that are reckless and unsafe. He's basically Stan Hansen, Jumbo Serta, and fucking whoever else I can think of, and maybe not Mick Foley because he doesn't put his body on the line, but he's a combination of people, and he knows his moveset. He knows like, hey, this looks reckless, I'll use it. Hey, this looks dirty and grungy, I'll use it. Some of you motherfuckers out here just, I want to do the coolest move ever, and your movesets suck. Fix it. But no, I digress. This was great from start to finish. Off rip gets tackled. Rex, that's supposedly Rex's friend, and he's aggressive. He's trying to hurt his friend. He wants this match because, hey, if you didn't know, Rex and B17 from that package, they fought a lot, and guess who won more often than not? B17. Rex ain't got any. If he got very
more
few
often
W's.
Than not, all of them.
No, not all of them.
He's won them all.
He's got like one, or Rex won one or two. Historically,
but none
speaking.
of them that mattered. Yeah,
sure,
that was
that's
the
a
whole
fair
thing.
one.
Right?
That's a fair one.
None of them on pay-per-view.
None of them that matter. Yeah,
like
but
stages.
but that's like a long-standing rivalry. So to have this match with his quote-unquote friend, and then people are like, I don't know who B17 is, and they're like, oh shit, this guy. Yep, that's who he is. I am beyond proud of Rex. I am beyond proud of fucking B. That was a fucking fight. All the stuff that happened organically, the bingo punch getting fucking stuffed, Rex hitting a bingo punch and a fucking spear, and then the fucking Larry, the fattest poison rana on the planet. Oh my god, bro!
Oh, the poison rana! Man, the match 100% was worthy.
Match of the night, bro. That's match of the year. That's a candidate. Someone put a pin in it. Remind me. Match of the year candidate, bro.
And that's what we're talking about now is the match instead of the package. But I'll go ahead and start. Like, this is a perfect example of why. And Jay, I may be projecting here because of the conversation we had about like, oh, OCW and CCW just defaults to the main event. It doesn't. But you see why this has. the build to this, the history, the legacy, and the fucking match. Once you see it, like all of the different callbacks, that Poison Rana from Big Fat Rex was so. Like I told to him in the VP, I'm like, I am honestly very happy for OCW that you kicked my ass at Road to Glory, because I could not put together a spectacle like this on Wrestlution. If I was still world champion, I don't know what I would have done, but it would not have been this good. And like, my God, the in-ring stuff was just as impressive as all of the callbacks and stuff they made in the hype package.
That shit it was such a good fucking match. And then people watching it live are like, oh my God, yeah, that's what you can be if you're not a fucking quick play dickhead. If you don't get nervous when you get fucking red and you just fucking fight and do your best. That's what you can do too. Anybody can do that if they just, give it a shot and don't get fucking no fucking spam and dodge and all the goofy shit. Just fucking fight and see what happens. But no, everything from top to bottom was great. Told a fucking excellent accidental story, and Rex is victorious. I have nothing, like, literally that is a match of the year candidate if we do awards this year. Probably won't, but either way, that's one of the best matches of the fucking year, bar none. Shout out to Rex, shout out to B17. This motherfucker can't see shit, gets scared with motion, and he still put on a clinic. That's crazy. I did not like this man for like 4 years out of the fucking 7, and now he's a future legend. Go fucking figure. Anybody could do it if you could stop being a piece of shit. Maxx, then Rush, go.
I think talking back to like, because it kind of blew my load. Talking about like the build, I think we can all kind of like close our eyes and we can all imagine what we were doing in 2016. How different world was. I'm not even gonna say out of fear of making people feel old, but it was like a whole different world back then. And to see them come all the way this far, like I said, Rex hasn't had this kind of a spotlight on him ever. Even though it's like what, 4 times ECW, 3 times?
I think it's 4 times. He's been
I think it's 4.
Yeah, but to your point, Max, he's always been like the auxiliary character, right? He's always been like the backseat guy.
He was Mr. Turmoil for a hot second. He still is Mr. Turmoil. He's been the guy for CCW, but maybe not.
Yeah, but that
guy.
happened. But like to what I'm picking up from what he's saying. I'm not trying to say what he's saying, but like the Mr. Turmoil stuff happened because of Paul Pugh. The CCW stuff initially happened because of Jacob Trance. All of his whole build has happened because of B17. That CCW feud that we had with Quartz, that was Quartz. So like, this is like the build that they did, the story they told. Let's say like, okay, now this is about me. This is me. Like even in his last WrestleMania main event, when we were joking about it before, this is his first singles main event, but he main evented before in Vegas 3 years ago at Wrestlution 14 in the Chamber. But he was an auxiliary character. That was B17's moment. That was Cass's moment.
Yeah.
You know what? So like this being like, I love what Max is saying, that this is Rex right here. This is his the culmination of 7.5 years of all the shit he's gone through.
Crazy.
Sorry, Max. Go ahead.
That's fine. All right. And building off of that, all right, when we come to the entrances, we have Bingo comes out with, the classic B17 with all some absolutely fire attire.
Yes.
And Trons. But then you have Rex comes out with like the entire remains of Scumchester Academy, and it's kind of like, even though he has all of these people behind him, it was still him that got himself to that point. And this was like the most driven, I'd say, that Rex has been. He didn't leave any chance in the match with Quartz. He made sure, he got the job done. And I think it's kind of poetic because Bingo was one of the big proponents of that in terms of like pushing Rex to be more. And then it's kind of like all culminated into this moment. And then when the bell rings, it's just, you can kind of see the chemistry between the two in terms of like their movesets, or in terms of, just how many times they've played each other. And it's kind of like those New Japan moments where they've seen each other too many times. You'd have Rex, he went for the lariat, and then Bingo stuffs him and then hits him with lariats of his own, kind of stuff like that. Or after eating so many mutagen might die for my sins, Rex is able to do some crazy reversal with the fat Poison Rana,
the biggest,
and get out of there. And it was just like such a perfect crowning, even though he's already been that guy, but it was such an even bigger crowning moment for Rex as he sits on top of everything he's done, and it really did feel like he finally got past or I guess stepped out of, Bingo Shadow, where he finally overcame, his biggest demon. And I thought it was just absolutely amazing.
Fucking
What a cathartic moment
yes.
tonight was.
Before we get to Rust, two things. Number one, my only gripe was I wish there was pyro for the fucking the entrance for Rex. I wish that would have gave it an extra oomph. Remember, it's Lucian. You gotta fucking give us that extra. That's the only time you give us the extra. And number fucking two, whoever he fights next has a huge hill to fucking climb. Cause fucking oh my goodness, like I don't know who's gonna fucking be dug up from whatever. Hey, get Ares, fuck it, why not? I don't know. You gotta get somebody for the fucking. I don't know who to get for that. Like that was such a fucking great. I don't know if Rez is gonna be able to pull up a good match like that for the next year. I think he got his match quota for the year and that's it. Go fuck off. Pull your hamstring and relinquish the belt. We'll do a fatal 4-way tournament for some nobodies and you can come back next year. I don't know what to do, bro. That was a fuck. Oh my god. Rusty, you're up.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, boo. I'm wrapping up. Go ahead,
He's been waiting.
He's a fucking guy.
No. So first, I'm gonna just talk about the match itself, because we talked about the history and everything. I don't repeat what my other colleague said. No, for real. I think the match was fantastic from start to finish. Shout out to B17's attire. Pants were fire. The Tron was fire. The Tron also on the Rex entrance and the Bloodline entrance with the whole DD thing. Perfect. Just really good Lucian feeling right off the bat. After the promo package, that was insane. Entrances were insane. Set the tone for the rest of the match, and some smooth. Like they didn't miss a beat. Like usually B17 Rex is also always smooth, even in Kumite and everything. Always smooth. They took it a step further. Even I think the spot for me tonight from all the matches basically was when B17 in usual B17 fashion missed a dive and Rex came back right away, run the ropes, not just he ran the ropes, and when we all thought he was gonna jump, he stayed under the bottom rope. That's a very Rex move, and that's so simple. That's so simple, but the fact that in the heat of the match and everything, you think about doing this because your character would do this actually. Make it feel real, make it feel amazing. Like you have the presence of mind of doing that right and smoothly right after he missed the dive is just pure, just perfect. And not a lot of people I know in this place can do that. Even I can can't have sometimes that type of ID right off the bat on the action. So the fact that he hit B17 with the corner bingo punch followed by the spear too, a lot of history right there also. So and also that fucking Adam would never play the game because allegedly he can't play it because motion sickness. We all saw that.
He said allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly, because he can play the game and very well. So I hope that's not a one-off for him. I hope he stays, because it's just I feel like I already said this
We're
about
missing B17. Imagine that. I hate that I have to say I miss B17. Go ahead, Russ. I'm sorry.
No. We don't miss B17. It's just that it's a pleasure when he's on screen, but he can fuck off. And
Russ is like, I don't want him near me. He's a very dangerous opponent.
He is, and even after I think 2-game layoff and 4 years layoff.
Did you ever fight B17?
Still go. Yeah, but not on pay-per-view or anything.
Oh, okay.
What you trying to do?
Oh, I see Summerside 2023.
Interesting. Good to know.
I mean,
so
about the match.
Really good. Go ahead.
About the match.
I mean, there's not a whole lot of thing on my checklist left. So, Yeah, the match made sense, and I feel like Jay said, Rex didn't win big ones against B17. It was a one-sided story almost. And even when we thought Rex could pull one off, he never pulled one off
No.
against B17. Never. And that's the whole thing. His redemption was, even though B17 was retired, it was to beat B17 to be complete. So I don't know what the next step is for Rex. I would enjoy him to just give opportunities, not to whoever, but just to up and coming superstars that we have, and maybe have a great match with Rex. And probably will lose to Rex because he's I don't know where he gets it from, but he's just been powering up ever since the first match with Quartz and everything. He's been powering up like crazy, and I appreciate it because he was a beast on 2K19, a real beast, and he fell off the map a little bit on later
22,
in the game,
a little bit
22
towards the
bit,
end.
but we all did. Like I was shite at 22 right off the bat. I got good like 2 months before the end of 22,
Yeah.
and for no reason at all. Like Jake said, for the match when you prepared with Mateo, and Max said the same thing. When you prepare for something and you play for something, you miss completely the mark. I never played a game. I never DM. I never play against the computer and everything. And I think that's how we do the best we can. And I don't know if Rex plays. I think he does a couple of DMs, but it works wonder for him because he is legitimately the combination of great showing for the viewers, even the viewers who don't want to see meta play and just wrestling and everything, and also
He's
the
fucking
brutality. Yeah, the moveset. The moveset has been the best
Perfect.
moveset. I think it has been voted the best moveset for
Like
a while
twice,
now.
Was.
maybe twice
Yeah.
or three times.
Twice.
It's-
And
it's
it's
Twice
not
officially,
difficult.
but it could have been
It's not
multiple times.
It's not difficult at all. What's my
No,
character?
because it
Find
knows
what
that.
works. That's it. I'm gonna do a
And-
flipping
and it's-
whatever.
And that's not even that. That's not even that. That's not even that what works with my character, because he likes to play this way with all his characters. He likes to be offensive. He likes to be rough. He likes to be, just flat out an asshole in the ring. He loves to do that. Even DMs back in the day when we were doing it. So it fits Rex. It fits the person behind the control. It fits everything. So even if it changed, because he changed finishers quite a lot throughout the years, they're always well placed. They always, they always work. Always.
In Rust, we didn't even talk about the fact that he hit the Scum City limits to end.
Oh,
instead of
yes,
going
yeah,
with-
Yes.
Like the fact that he picked him back up and made sure to finish him with that because that fit their era. That's the shit you can't teach. That's the shit you just have to learn.
Cass is like,
from
what
being in
about
OCW
me?
for a while?
No.
Like that because when Jay and I were calling, you can hear it in our voice if you go back and listen. After the second backhand in the lariat, we're like, what is he doing? And then he does the jab punches right into the Scum City limits. And then we all collectively understand. Like,
Yep.
oh my
Yeah.
God, this is
Yeah.
happening.
Someone like him being that smart is kind of troubling, but it'd be like that sometimes.
It's the same point I made with Ors in the match. Like
True. Yeah.
he doesn't care. He doesn't care about the stun animation. He doesn't care about how many finishers or what is gonna take for the finish to occur. He's gonna hit it. He hit a finisher on B17, the second finisher. He picked him up just to hit him with a move that is, I think it's his sig, but
Yeah.
it is a sig. But
That used to
make-
be his finisher.
Yeah, but the guts you have to have and the confidence you have to have, not only in you but in your opponents. Even it would have been beautiful
Bro.
if we could be kicked out too. But I mean, it's just that level of
Bro.
I trust you to have a great match, and we trust each other, and we know we have this chemistry for years, and we didn't let up, and we won't let up. It's just beautiful. That was beautiful.
Just
all
dodge.
around.
You just got dodge, Rusty. Just dodge and fucking make sure your moves don't have
Russ is
any
speaking truth.
whatever.
Hey, we don't. It's positive vibes only.
Shut up.
We're vibing here.
Fucking-
we
look,
don't need to go after people.
You want to see positive vibes? When fucking Rex hit the liver punches, then he hit another set of liver punches and dropped him on his neck. That's the vibe.
The guy gets it. Like
He has
he's
two
perfect.
Yeah,
liver punch
I mean,
spots. One goes to the liver, and then he fucking drops you on your neck. Go, Russ. I'm sorry. It's just amazing. I love it.
Just a quick point. If I have to nitpick, and that's only my thing. If you want to be, I don't like the bloodline entrance. That's just me. I don't know why, but not because it doesn't fit. It fits. It's just I don't
Everybody
like
goes for
seeing
it.
it. I don't know.
Well, not everybody here. Not everybody here.
Yeah,
But
too iconic in real life,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Is that-
exactly.
yeah.
When you see it, that there's a bunch of idiots in the chat. I'm sorry about the word, but when you
No,
say,
you're
"Oh,
right.
I know this entrance," it's Aleister Black's entrance. No, it's Cass' entrance. You fucking idiot.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh my God, I couldn't agree with you more.
And
Yes.
that's the
Yes.
same thing. But this time, since we saw that this entrance is brand new in this game, but in real life, it's so iconic to one person, and it's not gonna be ever the Rex entrance for me. You know what I'm saying? Aleister Black, I couldn't care less. Cass has been using it for years and years, and there's just plenty of characters have their own entrances. Sometimes people are like, "Oh, he has this wrestler in real life entrance." No, fuck you. This is OCW. Everything OCW does is over real life because real life doesn't exist in OCW realm. So take it as it is. And yeah, it's just Owen is still Gunther, but it's just just
What the fuck was that, bro?
no, I had to do it. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
It's
That
just-
was fun. That was just
no.
random. That was left field, bro.
No, because the Jake was like, "Yeah, you're right," and I had to, it tickled
Well, you used to be
I
Jay
had to-
White, so that's
No,
fine.
I used to be Jay White.
I'm glad we didn't get rid of you, buddy.
And
Wrap it
I'm
up.
semi-happy. Jesus, I'm gonna go slow now. No, that was perfect. And to cap off, I legitimately think and hope that night 2 has one better match than this one, because it might be match of your candidates, that's for sure, but match of the weekend. So that was too good. That was too good. That's it.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up because we have night 2, and guess what? Despite being all fucked up, I still have work to do for today and tomorrow, tonight, and tomorrow morning. Yay me! For night 2, which is going to also be pretty good. Yeah, we have a lot in store for you tomorrow. So join us tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Wrestlution Night 2. This podcast will be the same thing, more or less. We made good time. We made two and change, 220. More or less what I figured what we get. I wanted to go 2, but it'd be
baby.
like that. Yeah, I know. You see, I'm not being rude and be like, shut up, moving on. I don't have a buzzer with me. You're lucky. But yeah, closing thoughts.
Well, we'll see if
before we go.
anything. Well, I'll just say we'll see if any dumb shit happens tomorrow. that
I
leads
don't
us
think
to
any
have-
dumb shit. Oh no, there's one dumb segment.
You don't know. You don't
Well,
know.
we'll see.
It hasn't happened yet, Jay. We don't know
we'll
until
see.
we know.
We'll see. So anyway,
No,
Oh,
but we have a
I
big
see.
card. We have a big card tomorrow. So if anybody who is still here, and Jay mentioned to me in private, like the fact that we have this many people still listening, tomorrow is an entire other pay-per-view. Like it's
Yeah.
unfathomable to me to have a quality like this and just know that tomorrow I get to wake up and like get ready for another pay-per-view of this quality. It's super fun.
yeah, we got
OCW's
one.
nice.
We got one more
Yeah.
tomorrow, and it's about the same length as this one. Pause.
And
So
I
we'll
was
see.
about to say, OCW is such a positive, community, and we
It's pretty
all love
positive.
each other. No, is it that even when you're dead, you can relive our community, and that's all I'm about
He
to
set
say.
himself up. Jesus Christ. He threw himself an alley-oop. What a guy.
You fucking.
Oh, the backbone was wide open.
Oh, just wait till tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, it'll
hey
be
man,
real
there's so
open
many answers.
tomorrow.
Like, is Cass a real necromancer? Who knows? Tune in tomorrow to find out.
real
Closing, Max,
tomorrow.
closing
It really
thoughts.
is.
I absolutely love the show. I think I'm not gonna do the comparisons. I'm gonna say that maybe tomorrow, maybe afterwards. But I really enjoyed it, top to bottom. There wasn't anything even close to a bad match. Really, everything kind of kept its pace, kept the show moving, and didn't stay too long. It was a pleasant experience. And for once, the post-show podcast is not gonna go longer than the show.
Yeah. Tomorrow, if we
Well,
can get like
we
an
better
hour and
shut
a
it down
half-
now because
yeah.
we're getting close.
Tomorrow, if we get an hour and a half, I'll be even happier.
Not
Russ,
getting an hour and a half
yeah, we'll get an
tomorrow.
hour and a half. We almost did, but then fucking Russ wouldn't shut up, and then you fucking chimed in and tagged it like, God damn it. So it's okay. I love you, Rusty. Anything to add, Russ, or did we just go to you? I'm drunk. I can't remember. We're good.
I don't want to talk to
You want to talk? Okay, you want to talk about? I don't want to have nothing to say. Okay, Jake, anything to
We'll
add?
be here tomorrow. No, I got nothing for you. See you tomorrow, everybody.
Yeah,
3
we'll,
p.m.
we'll
Eastern
see you
time.
tomorrow. Another fucking stag show, 8 matches, 3 title matches, another future investment, the Whammons, and a bunch of other stuff. Thank you so much for hanging with us. We appreciate you. Again, join us tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for night 2 of Wrestlution 17, the PvP extravaganza. No, we are not AI. No, you can't submit your character. No, you're not getting a Discord invite. You gotta fight. You gotta write. You gotta get over. You gotta work here. Sorry, you have to work here. If you can't do that, you can't be here. That's how it works over here. Thank you so much for listening. God bless and have a wonderful, beautiful night. We'll see you tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am so tired and drunk. I hate my life. Bye.
Bye.